that want to help out.
Reuters, quoting National Security Advisor John Bolton, reports the White House has invited Russian President Vladimir Putin to come to Washington, though it is unclear when or if Putin accepted. This days after Bolton and Putin held talks about a nuclear arms treaty President Trump plans to pull out of, claiming Russia is violating it. Moscow denies that. This is Fox News.
Skies are cloudy this morning, 45 degrees, and quite a bit of a warmer start to your Friday morning than we did about 24 hours ago at 5:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Authorities are searching for a Madison man wanted for murdering a popular Chicago area barber in front of his 5-year-old daughter. Police have put out an arrest warrant for Perry Gosa this morning. Gosa is accused of shooting Mike Carney to death this past Sunday at a gas station in South suburban Harvey. Gosa was the ex-boyfriend of the victim's girlfriend. Carney was a barber whose clients included Bears players like Khalil Mack and Prince Amukamara. No one is in custody after the owner of 2 restaurants in northwest suburban Lake in the Hills was shot to death in Chicago. Police say Peter Rim was riding in a vehicle early yesterday morning in the 4100 block of West Diversey Avenue when someone in an SUV shot him. The victim was pronounced dead in the hospital. Rim owned 2 neighboring restaurants in Lake in the Hills, Bistro Wasabi and El Cucino. Investigators are trying to determine the cause of a fire this morning that damaged an apartment building in Oak Lawn. Authorities say the blaze broke out early this morning in the 9300 block of South Harlem Avenue. 9 had to be rescued. No injuries reported. 2 mass shootings this week in Chicago could be related. Police say a shooting that wounded 5 men Wednesday night outside of a home in the 6200 block of South King Drive may have been in retaliation for 6 being shot Monday outside of a funeral for a local musician on the south side. No arrests have been made in either case. A convicted sex offender from Broadview is accused of stabbing a woman inside of her Chicago home in May. Lester Johnson is due in bond court later this morning on several charges that include home invasion that caused injury. A former priest at a Ukrainian Orthodox church in Chicago is accused of swindling an elderly parishioner who survived a Nazi death camp out of more than $300,000. Nicholas Cherviatiuk faces charges of theft and financial exploitation of an elderly person. Cherviatiuk formerly led the Holy Patronage Church, where 96-year-old Nellie Bridgman attended services. A Maryville Catholic priest is now on administrative leave after it was found the attack that he reported in August did not happen and a sexual abuse incident did not take place. It's an update to a story we told you about again in August, where police say the case at hand was when the Reverend Basil Hutsko claimed he was knocked out at St. Michael Byzantine Catholic Church. FBI investigated the incident at the Byzantine Church as a hate crime and yesterday said it was unfounded. The process of approving a proposed consent decree aimed at reforming the Chicago Police Department is moving forward. Emotional testimony was heard yesterday during the second of 2 public hearings about that proposal at the Dirksen Federal Building. 4 teams have been chosen for the job of overseeing any progress toward complying with that decree. The public has a chance to question those finalist teams at a pair of hearings at the Thompson Center on November 3rd. A Chicago man accused of threatening to kill U.S. Senator Jeff Flake because he was tired of the Republican interrupting the president will face federal charges in Arizona, where Magistrate Judge David Weissman said that prosecutors in Arizona, where a grand jury indicted James Blevins, did not agree to transfer that case to Chicago. A handful of lawyers with the Illinois Attorney General's office are among the first to appear before a grand jury looking into Legionnaires' disease deaths at a Quincy Veterans Home. In a surprise move, the Illinois Education Association is backing a Southern Illinois Republican congressman. A small number of local teachers say, however, they will not. About 30 teachers yesterday signed a letter insisting they will not vote for Congressman Mike Bost, unlike the majority of the Illinois education teachers in southern Illinois. Candidate for mayor of Chicago, Bill Daley, is calling for term limits for the mayor's office. While announcing his ethics platform yesterday, Daley said he would push for a limit of 2 4-year terms. Two of Illinois' most popular state parks getting a little bigger. Governor Rauner yesterday announcing the state has brokered a deal to buy just over 2,600 acres of land to expand Starved Rock and Matheson state parks. The state will spend $11 million on the land. Starved Rock is Illinois' crown jewel of state parks. State's Department of Natural Resources say over 3 million people visit Starved Rock and Matheson last year. Chicago's public league basketball community mourning the death of Lewis Thorpe this morning. It's a longtime high school coach. Died Wednesday at the age of 56. Thorpe had an impressive resume, including coaching North Lawndale to a state title in 2008. Well, we've been telling you the stories of our state universities and their financial troubles for several years now, where one of those universities is saying this morning the worst is behind them. The top man at Western Illinois University is saying the school has turned a major corner with a recent major uptick in enrollment. Jack Thomas says Western Illinois should be now seen as the school in the state with something to offer students in the entire state and across the country. And if you like history, you'll love this. The discovery of a colonial-era Philadelphia newspaper in Camden, New Jersey, is providing a fresh-in-the-minute look at long gone time in American history. It's an authentic edition of the Pennsylvania Journal and Weekly Advertiser. It's dated December 28th, 1774, and it literally just showed up at a Goodwill processing center in Camden. Now, the unique part of this story is that where the other two known copies of that newspaper are the University of Chicago and Illinois State University have copies of that printing, December 28, 1774, of the Pennsylvania Journal and Weekly Advertiser. How did they get here? Chicago sports, Blackhawks close out their 3-game homestand with a 4-1 win against the Rangers at the United Center. Taves, 14, Kane, DeBrincat lit the lamp. They skate in St. Louis tomorrow. Bulls on the road tonight to take on the Hornets for the second time in 3 nights. Chicago beat Charlotte 112-110 Wednesday. Bobby Portis says we reported to you yesterday out about 4 weeks with a sprained MCL. Deshaun Watson lit it up last night. 5 touchdown passes. Texans cruise past the Dolphins, 42-23 in Houston. World Series switching coast as the Dodgers host the Red Sox in Game 3 tonight in L.A. and Chavez Ravine. College football tomorrow. Illinois and Maryland in College Park. And the Huskies of Northern Illinois take on BYU. The news, a service of Compassion International. You can't change the whole world, but you can be part of the change in the world for a child living in poverty by becoming a Compassion International child sponsor. Choose a child to sponsor now at compassion.com/radio, compassion.com/radio. 5:10, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Don't miss Freedom Summit 2018 on Saturday, October 27th. Presented by Geiger Wealth Management, Chicago's retirement planning experts. This year, featuring headline speakers, former Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clark and James O'Keefe from Project Veritas. Also appearing, AM 560's Mike Gallagher, Dan Proft, Amy Jacobson, and Joe Walsh. Get your tickets today at freedomsummitchicago.com. That's freedomsummitchicago.com. Sponsored in part by Best Dental Group of Bartlett and by Cromweedy Roofing and Exteriors.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Rich, poor, Republican, Democrat, we're all the same when it comes to property taxes.
We're not going to be living in Illinois anymore, and it's due to the property taxes.
Go to SaveYourHomeNow.org. You stay. The politicians go. Liberty Principles paid for this ad and is solely responsible for its content.
To experience relief from muscle cramps in your legs and feet, use TheraWorks Relief. This non-greasy foam is proven to relieve muscle cramps fast and reduce muscle soreness. TheraWorks Relief can also prevent muscle cramps before they start, so you can get a full night's sleep without having to worry about muscle cramps. TheraWorks Relief only takes minutes to apply, absorbs quickly, and it works. TheraWorks Relief is a life-changing product, and you don't even need a prescription. Get TheraWorks Relief today in the pain relief aisle at Walmart, CVS, Rite Aid, and Walgreens pharmacies, or TheraWorksRelief.com.
Highland Park Ford Lincoln's in the house. Here's Alan Marty.
For 30 years, we've been making people happy with incredible deals and service.
We're the best Ford Lincoln dealers in town.
Because making people happy makes us happy.
No doubt. This is one happy place.
Heck, we just break into dance all the time.
We don't break into dance at the dealership.
Sure we do.
No, we really don't.
We could. Come on, Marty, dance with me.
The Highland Park Ford Lincoln Superstore. Call 1-800-984-9000 or go to alanmarty.com.
Admit it.
Okay, you're a lovely dancer.
Thank you. This is Alan Marty. Deal with us.
When it's pouring rain, or even when storms are in the forecast, do you have a sinking feeling because you're worried about all the stuff in your basement getting wet? Hi, I'm Roy Spencer from Permaseal. We've been dealing with wet basements and structural foundation problems for over 36 years. If your basement has ever flooded or you've had leaking wall cracks, it will likely happen again. And that's where Permaseal comes in. You can count on us for honest answers and expert advice to get your basement and your life back in order. What makes Permaseal your best choice? We're locally owned and we provide state-of-the-art, permanent, and proven solutions to your wet basement and structural foundation problem. We remain focused on superior customer service and complete satisfaction for our clients. And that's how we earned an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Call 800-421-SEAL today for a free professional evaluation by one of our certified consultants. That's 800-421-SEAL or visit permaseal.net.
Known best for being better, Permaseal.
The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation of America invites you to take steps for cures at a walk event near you. Support the 1.6 million Americans living with these diseases. Get started at cctakesteps.org.
5:13. Let's get an update on the roads now. Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center time with Jim Talamonte.
On the Kennedy Expressway, outbound traffic stop and go Nagel to Canfield with overnight work in the two left lanes. Should be wrapping up soon. It's 23 minutes downtown to O'Hare. Inbound 20, and the reversibles are about to open inbound. Eden looks good. The Eisenhower as well. No delays to report on the Stevenson. Work clearing now at LaGrange Road. Farther south, I-55 southbound past 126, crash in the right lane. Ryan's okay. I-57 as well. On Bishop Ford, delays 111th Stony Island feeder for single lane work, and Cottage Grove to the merge with overnight construction. 25 minutes, 8094 to the Ryan. Tollways look good, northwest Indiana as well. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answers starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center, considerable cloudiness in Kevin Snyder's forecast. Shower in spots, I-54. Cloudy, shower overnight, low 43. And these are spotty showers we're going to have. Not any downpours that we can see coming in, just hit and miss. Spotty drizzle tomorrow early in the morning. Otherwise, clouds throughout the day, high 53. 43 tomorrow night. Currently, we have 47 at O'Hare. Next news at 5:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Lou Bridges Show. Get foreclosure defense solutions that may save your home. Saturday mornings at 8 on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So let's start by updating what we know about these bombs that were delivered to Democrats and various sorts and CNN. The most important part in terms of trying to
identify the responsible party in terms of updating the story. Investigators determining that at least several of the suspicious packages were handled by the U.S. Postal Service facility in Opelika, Florida.
I knew you were going to nail it. Good job, Dan.
Thank you very much.
It's just north of Miami.
Yeah. So at least they're zeroing in on where packages were processed. That may, of course, give them indications that can allow them to zero in on exactly who the responsible party or parties
Yeah, they have
are.
20 inspectors or investigators inside the facility right now. They've interviewed employees. CNN was reporting that all of the bombs went through there, even the one that was delivered via courier to CNN. So they seem to have a location of where they were mailed from, but still don't know if it's a single person or a group.
And as we talked about yesterday, obviously, the discovery of these devices, again, some of the devices were were flawed and incapable of exploding, according to investigators, which was reported yesterday, but sort of confirmed with more detailed analysis. So that's worth noting, just in terms of thinking about theory or motive. And I don't. It's a question. Well, it's a question of incompetence, or because these are crude devices to begin with, and maybe this is not a particularly experienced person, or some were meant to actually do harm, and some were meant to just create fear, hysteria, media attention.
Yeah, and that's what, it's doing. Maxine Waters, your girl, coming forward saying, don't be afraid. And also, Trump should come forward and say he's to blame for this.
I don't know whether the bombs are real or not, but we should not crawl under the bed, close the doors, not go out, be afraid to go to rallies, whatever. We have to keep doing what we're doing in order to make this country right. That's what I intend to do. And as the young people said, I ain't scared.
I ain't scared. Okay. And she went on to say that she thinks the President of the United States should take responsibility for the kind of violence that we're seeing for the first time in different ways.
Yeah. Yeah. Right, no justice, no peace, Maxine. No, that's her tagline. It has been for 25 years.
Put music to that video and released it yesterday.
There's nothing new in this world. I get it. The Democrats' routine is getting old.
Well, do you think President Trump is to blame at all for this? I mean, just his actions, his rhetoric. Because he's blaming the media. He's saying that this is the media's fault because they, because it's fake news. Think of who all the bombs were sent to. The Clintons, the Obamas, 2 to Joe Biden that were discovered yesterday en route, never reached his doorstep. Do you think that maybe both sides are to blame for all this?
I don't know. What do you think?
Or just the crazy person? I don't know. I mean, they sent it to CNN, and President Trump repeatedly attacks CNN on a daily basis. Or this person could just be crazy, not a Democrat or a Republican, just a crazy person or a mentally unstable person who, by the way, doesn't know how to spell. That's why they think that this is, from a rookie, somebody who's never, just some person who's just not quite right.
Or it was purposely misspelled. You have no idea. Not a clue. And here's something else for consideration with these questions about who's to blame, and let's see how we can shoehorn in a theory of culpability onto this person or this party because of their disagreements with, their pointed rhetoric at particular persons or parties or organizations, including media outlets. Let's think about this for a second, if we could. Do you need instruction from President Trump or anybody else to mistrust the D.C. press corps?
No.
So do you need instruction from President Trump to look at some of the reporting that's been done pre-President Trump by the New York Times, by CNN, by MSNBC, by the Amazon Post? Spin the wheel and pick a D.C. outlet of your liking. Do these organizations just appear on the scene, or do they have a track record? Has their track record been exaggerated? Their style of reporting in quotation marks, and I do use quotation marks in many instances, has their style of reporting been doubled down upon under President Trump? Do you need President Trump to point that out?
No, I'm just saying.
Or are there people that can consume content and make their own judgment calls and aren't looking for instruction from any politician? What they hear in President Trump is what they're thinking. And someone is saying what they're thinking for the first time rather than genuflecting before the D.C. press corps for good coverage or for less bad coverage. Is that a possible theory, since we're throwing out theories about...
the Democrats are blaming President Trump for the division in this country. President Trump is blaming the media. I mean, he tweeted out at 3:14 this morning, funny how lowly rated CNN and others can criticize me at will, even blaming me for the current spat of bombs and ridiculously comparing this to September 11th and the Oklahoma City bombing. Yet when I criticize them, they go wild and scream, quote, "It's just not presidential!" Exclamation point, end quote.
Okay, what's your point?
I'm just saying, I maybe...
You tweeted out,
yeah?
How is that responsive
blaming the
to my
media
question?
For all of this division. I don't know the theory behind the bomber, but if you look at who he's targeting people that have attacked President Trump in the past. Robert De Niro, relentlessly, any chance he can get in front of a microphone, tries to destroy President Trump.
Was Bernie Sanders responsible for the softball game, practice shooting?
No.
Then explain the difference to me. Why is this a question? Why is it not a question for in the instance of Bernie Sanders, but it is a question here? Because of tweets? Why?
One night, last night in Wisconsin, he's saying this is, let's all come together, a moment of unity. And then he goes to the media, or goes to Twitter and starts attacking the media for the bombings.
Yes, I understand what's actually happening. The question is the contentions that are being made by the left. If you want to start from their premises, then I want to understand what the standard is and the differences in the application of whatever standard.
Because I feel like President Trump has been a little bit of an agitator. And I'll probably lose my job saying this, but I think that he has been.
Probably lose your job.
Oh, it's not.
I mean, let's not get hysterical.
Okay, Megyn Kelly.
Well, you're going to give it like a tearful apology?
No,
lose your
I'm just
job.
saying,
just state your position rather than all the histrionics.
Okay. No, I said, I'm not. I'll give you a break. I'm just telling you how I feel. I feel like President Trump
so that's why I'm
has
asking.
not been presidential. That he has been attacking CNN relentlessly.
Yes.
That's, of course, why a bomb was sent to CNN and not to Fox News. We know that.
No, we don't know that, actually. We don't know anything of the sort. So this is exactly my point.
That it went to Robert De Niro, CNN.
Bring it out.
Biden.
Exactly. That's
Eric
what I want
Holder,
you to do. Bring it out.
Maxine Waters.
Right.
All the people,
So
all the enemies of Trump.
You just said a bomb
this.
went to CNN because Trump criticized CNN. Okay, support it. How do you know?
They didn't choose any other outlet. They didn't choose NBC. They didn't choose ABC. They didn't choose CBS. They chose CNN.
Has
for a reason.
Trump been critical of other outlets?
Yes, he has been. But
So
he's
why
been
do
the
they
hardest on CNN.
So
by far the hardest on CNN.
So MSNBC. So his rhetoric.
Nobody cares about MSNBC.
What's the rhetorical threshold to go after CNN versus all of the other outlets he's criticized? Since you've got this third eye into
data. I don't have the data.
No. You don't.
I haven't counted all the tweets where he's criticized CNN or spoke publicly at rallies against CNN.
This is not about data. You have a third eye into why whoever did this did this.
This is just my intuition.
Well, I know.
That's how I'm feeling. That's why.
So explain why you think it's CNN versus all of the other outlets that he.
Again, because he criticizes CNN more than MSNBC, more than ABC. I mean, he dabbles. He criticizes
New York
media.
Times.
New York Times.
Why did New York Times get one?
I don't know.
Just ran out of pipe bombs.
Maybe PVC was too expensive. That he used, and the shards of glass that were inside the PVC tubes.
Yeah.
312-642-5600 is our turnkey Debt Pro answer line. 64636. Type in DA, then a quick comment.
Trump not being presidential is why someone or somebody
was inspired to commit a violent act.
That's your thesis. Okay. All right. We'll explore that.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
One of the biggest fears for retirees and soon-to-be retirees, do I have enough? Do I have enough money to last for the rest of my life? I hear it every day when I meet with individuals, and it's for good reason. Check this statistic out. If you were born in 1800, you could expect to live until you were 39 years old. In 1900, 49. That number jumped to 68 in 1950, and today it's 79. How many people do you know that are in their 80s, in their 90s? Hi, this is Tom Fortino, host of the Alpha Wealth Hour, heard every Saturday at 9 a.m. here on AM 560. So how do you help ensure you never run out of money in retirement? The answers are in our special report, Maximizing Income in Retirement. In this powerful report, you'll discover successful tools and strategies on how to help turbocharge your income in retirement and how to position and protect your money regardless of what happens in the stock market. Call now to receive this report, Maximizing Income in Retirement, and will include 6 strategies to tax-free income. Call the Alpha Wealth Group, 630-519-4742 right now to receive your free report. That's 630-519-4742.
Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Wealth Advisors, Inc. Famous Winston Churchill quotes, presented by Automated Systems.
Winston Churchill said, "You don't make the poor richer by making the rich poorer." This is truly a foundation of conservative thought today.
It's important we support companies that share our conservative values. If you are a manufacturer, I encourage you to call my friend Laz Kulchar from Automated Systems. As a software and systems integration company, Automated Systems creates custom solutions to make your production lines, facilities, and plants run more efficiently. Imagine less downtime, more speed, and fewer rejects. It doesn't matter if you're a Fortune 500 or a startup, Automated Systems delivers solutions for your toughest automation challenges. For information, I encourage you, man, to talk to Laz at Automated Systems. Call 844-HIRE-ASI or visit automatedsys.com. That's 844-HIRE-ASI.
Nothing speaks louder about an auto dealer than a happy customer. And at Joe Cotton Ford, they have many.
Typically, the car buying process, I think a lot of people would agree that it's not a pleasant experience. You look forward to buying a car, but the actual having to negotiate and purchase a car can sometimes be an ugly thing. And the one thing that I've always had here in 19 years, every time we purchased a car, it's been a pleasant experience.
Another reason why folks keep coming back to Joe Cotton Ford. This month is Truck Month at Joe Cotton Ford, where you can save thousands on your favorite trucks and SUVs. Now's the time to get into a new 2018 Ford F-150. Once again, chosen as Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Joe Cotton Ford has hundreds in stock ready for delivery. No hype and no pressure. It's why generations of customers keep coming back to Joe Cotton Ford. Get to Joe Cotton Ford today and save big during Truck Month. Gary and North Avenue in Carroll Stream, or at joecottonford.com. joecottonford.com.
You know, our Jimmy John's new 9-grain wheat sub has the perfect amount of grains.
Freak, yeah, it does. Any less it'd be grain lacking. Any more it'd be obnoxious.
9 grains. It's just so confident. I mean, it says I'm high quality, I'm substantial, I'm flavorful, but I don't have to prove myself to anyone.
This 9-grain wheat sub is practically an inspirational poster.
I want to possess the character and depth of this 9-grain wheat sub.
You guys talking about being that 9-grain wheat sub again?
Try our new 9-grain wheat sub, Jimmy John's. Wheat yeah, freak yeah.
I used to post to job boards that sent me tons of resumes.
Just to find a few people who were right for my job.
That old process was not smart.
Then I went to ZipRecruiter.
Its technology scans resumes for me to find the right people.
And actively invites them to apply. So I get qualified candidates fast. Smart.
See why ZipRecruiter is rated #1 by employers in the U.S. Try it now for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Based on Trustpilot rating of hiring sites with over 1,000 reviews.
AM 560, The Answer.
So if Trump's critical words are responsible for the attempted attack on CNN, then is CNN's critical coverage responsible for the assassination attempts on Trump? I'm trying to find a standard here.
Yeah.
Critical words are responsible for violent actions. So does that go in both directions or just one? We'll take your calls, 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro, answer line at 538.
And later, a travel ban along the Mexican border and why Megyn Kelly wants Rowan Farrow to be at her exit meeting today at NBC News. We'll explain. But first, let's get into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Cloudy skies and 45 degrees. Investigators say the hunt for whoever sent 9 mail bombs to former President Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, and over a half dozen other critics of President Donald Trump is focusing on South Florida. Miami-Dade police and FBI agents are pouring through a postal mail facility in Opelika. Authorities are urging the public to remain vigilant as police investigate those suspicious packages.
As always, I urge people to alert us to anything that might seem strange or out of place, or anything that makes them feel uncomfortable. They can flag down a cop, call 911.
NYPD Commissioner James O'Neill. 8 million Americans have already voted. With less than 2 weeks to go until the November 6th election day, they've already cast ballots in early and absentee voting sites. It exceeds the number from 2016. That was, of course, a presidential election year. The chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee is asking the Justice Department to conduct a possible criminal investigation of Julie Swetnick and her attorney, Michael Avenatti. Swetnick made sensational accusations against Brett Kavanaugh before he was confirmed to the Supreme Court. A U.S. territory in the South Pacific is asking for federal help after being devastated by a Category 5 typhoon. Typhoon U2 tore through the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands this week, blasting the island with 180-mile-an-hour winds. Authorities this morning are searching for a Matson man wanted for murdering a popular Chicago area barber in front of his 5-year-old daughter. Police have put out an arrest warrant this morning for Perry Gosa, who's accused of shooting Mike Carney Sunday at a gas station in Harvey. 2 mass shootings in this week could be tied. Police say the shootings that wounded 5 men Wednesday outside of a home may have been in retaliation for 6 people being shot Monday outside of a funeral for a local rap artist. A handful of lawyers with the Illinois Attorney General's office are among the first to appear before a grand jury looking into the deaths from Legionnaires' disease at a Quincy veterans home. And you may want to stock up on chocolates starting now, because after the new year, it will cost more. Hershey announcing it's raising prices significantly early next year to offset increases in commodity and shipping costs. Blackhawks over the Rangers 4-1. Bulls will lose forward Bobby Portis for 4 to 6 weeks to a sprained MCL in his right knee. Deshaun Watson lit it up last night. 5 touchdown passes. Texans over the Dolphins, 42-23. The news is a service of Compassion International. Release a child from poverty when you become a Compassion sponsor. Choose your child now at compassion.com/radio. Do your part to release a child from poverty today. 5:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher warns it's not time to rest on our laurels.
Judge Kavanaugh, and in particular President Trump, won the battle with Judge Kavanaugh's confirmation. The last thing you can do now is breathe a sigh of relief and say, good, we got this major battle won. We don't need to go to the polls in a few weeks. We can stay home.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
The school year started just a short time ago, but it's not too late for your son or daughter to get the outstanding education and preparation for life that St. John's Northwestern Military Academy offers with their ongoing enrollment program. For years, St. John's Northwestern Military Academy has served young men and is now an excellent co-ed environment. Not a school for troubled kids, but one that will prepare young men and women for college by focusing on rigorous academics and leadership with a safe, secure, and structured environment free from distractions that's conducive to successful learning. St. John's Northwestern Military Academy in the beautiful Lake Country region of southeast Wisconsin inspires personal growth through a commitment to excellence in academics, spiritual and character development, athletics, and their military traditions. And there's still time to enroll your son or daughter for this school year. Call 1-800-SJ-CADET. That's 1-800-SJ-CADET, or visit their website, sjnma.org. That's sjnma.org.
Have you ever seen what really goes on in your caterer's or favorite restaurant's kitchen? What does the kitchen look like? How big is the operation? And maybe most importantly, Who's cooking my meal? When you cater with Tasty Catering, you get more than quality food and event planning. You get an invitation to see what goes on throughout our entire building, including our kitchen. We call it our open kitchen door policy. Come see for yourself why we are so proud of what we do, and gain the peace of mind that comes with knowing the who's, the what's, the where's, and the how's of the way we prepare your food. Visit tastycatering.com for more information, or contact a Tasty Catering sales representative and set up a time to come meet with us at our home. You can't put a price on peace of mind, but if you had to, all it takes is one visit. Call 847-593-2000, 847-593-2000, or start your visit through our open doors at tastycatering.com.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, roasted fresh daily in Batavia, Illinois.
5:36, a check on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
On the Tri-State Tollway northbound, traffic is stop and go. The Bishop Ford Freeway to Chicago Road. There's a crash there blocking the right lane. The other tollways are looking good. The Edens Expressway is clear. So too now is the Kennedy. Reversibles are open inbound. The Eisenhower still looking okay, getting a little bit of congestion approaching Des Plaines Avenue. Found Stevenson tight from Demon to the Ryan. 37 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. Inbound Ryan, heavy approaching downtown. 17 minutes, 95th to the Burn Circle. I-57, 16 minutes. I-80 to the Merge Bishop, 425. Roadwork jam from 111th, Stony Island Feeder. No problems to report on the Skyway or Lakeshore Drive. Northwest Indiana's looking great. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte. From the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center. Considerably cloudy today. Shower in spots, high 54. 47 right now. Next news coming up at 6. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560 The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Secure Retirement Radio with host Raj Shah. Sunday mornings at 7 on AM 560 The Answer.
Tickets for Freedom Summit Chicago are on sale now at freedomsummitchicago.com. That's freedomsummitchicago.com.
Dan and Amy, there's a question on the floor. I'm going to ask questions and see if we can get some people to think. I know we can in this audience, which distinguishes our community here at Chicago's Morning Answer from most in this discussion about the bombs and just about everything else. My question, if Trump's critical words are responsible for the attempted attack on CNN, then is CNN's critical coverage of Trump responsible for the attempted failed assassination attempts on the president? Because we know there have been assassination attempts on the president as a candidate in Las Vegas.
And it's barely reported. Remember that one in Vegas with that 19-year-old who got into his rally?
Rushed the stage.
And was armed, rushed the stage?
There was a report was it earlier this year or last year, of a failed ISIS attempt. I think it was this year, right? Because it was when he was in the Philippines to take out President Trump. So that's the question. If it's going to be words, the critical words spoken or written by someone are responsible for action taken by someone else on the same target. Because that's the standard that's being set. By the way, nothing new. It's not a standard that's being set across the board. It's a standard that's being set by the D.C. press corps with respect to President Trump and Republicans. And by the way, don't think President Trump is special. Sarah Palin was accused of having responsibility for the Gabby Gifford shooting because she put crosshairs on congressional districts on a digital map.
Yeah, I remember that.
David Axelrod accused the Tea Party of being a responsible party before we found out who the shooter was in the Gabby Giffords case. So this is the old Dem playbook.
They did the same thing for the Aurora movie theater shooter. Said he was a Tea Party member. Walked that back. Remember
Well, that
Brian
was
Ross, ABC
yeah. Brian
News?
Ross misidentified
him
because he didn't.
But even Stephen Scalise, who was shot during that softball game, came forward yesterday.
This isn't what America's all about. I'm disturbed by the fact that it's happening over and over again.
Yeah, I'm sure so somebody who knows.
Yeah, he's the victim of it.
Of political violence. So, any well-adjusted fifth grader knows that political violence is unacceptable, knows that violence, except in the case of self-defense, is unacceptable in a civil society. So, I appreciate the deep thinkers on the cable news channels instructing us on civility. I appreciate the wonderful representatives we have at the federal, state, and the local level telling me what civilized society is supposed to look like, because they've done such a good job lording over it, haven't they? Yeah, I got it.
Well, President Trump asked the media to set a civil tone in Wisconsin the other day.
Well, he suggested that if you're going to talk about civility, then you should probably practice it. And
start in your own house.
And if you watch the cable news channels for any length of time, is that what you see displayed? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636-DA, turnkey.pro text line. Jim in Rogers Park.
Yeah, I'm going to try to remain civil after being insulted yesterday. I was the first person to mention that this could be a false flag, which is quite a good possibility. You hung up on me.
Yeah.
You gave a big rant.
Yeah.
Amy smeared me. Amy smeared me with Alex Jones, which it had nothing to do with Alex Jones, and why she threw that in, I have no idea. But if you're talking about conspiracy theories, maybe Sean Hannity and the FISA warrant, that was a conspiracy theory to you a year ago, right? And as far as Trump goes, he always responds. He never initiates. The media's been 99% fucking negative.
See you, Jim. You can't use those words on radio. So, again, you failed the civility test. And let me repeat what I said yesterday, Jim, because I wasn't smearing you.
And I wasn't smearing him either.
I was established he was talking to me.
Right, but he said I smeared him with Alex Jones.
No, I did.
That is.
But here's the standard that was set here. No conspiracy zone. So I don't care if it's Jim or Rogers Park or anybody else. I'm not going to indulge conspiracy theories. And I still won't. So that's not a smear. It's a standard. I'm sorry, Jim and Rogers Park, you can't distinguish between the two. Not going to do it. Because that's what the other side does. You said it's a false flag operation. Could very well be. Possible. Could very well be Martians, too. Could be all kinds of things that we have no basis to contend.
Chuck Todd says it could be the Russians.
Yeah. And?
That they're trying to affect our upcoming midterm
could
elections.
Yeah. Could be the Chinese. Could be somebody that is mentally ill. Could be somebody who's not mentally ill and has a political agenda. Could be. It's real difficult to, let your mind wander into putting together theories, connecting things that there is no evidence are connected. That's great. That advances the conversation, doesn't it? Not going to do it, Jim. So if you want to have your conspiracy theories indulged, then just take it somewhere else. Real simple. Greg in Schaumburg.
Wow, where is following Sean from Elmwood Park when you need him? I will tell you. Okay, Professor Croft, to answer your question, the first answer is no. The second answer is yes. To briefly explain that, because I'd rather go to another point, there are more news media outlets that in criticizing Trump can do him harm than Trump going after the news media, thus the answers I gave you. But I would like to talk about the infamous Amy-o-meter that I introduced last week. Amy, now, I will bet you a bunky promo code Amy, Mike Lindell thing, whatever that is, okay, that when this all comes out, it will be probably an Antifa-type person. And the Amy-o-meter slipped this morning because what I hear you do sometimes, and I love you to death, but you go into reporter mode and defending the media, it seems, when the media, in my estimation, for the most part, does not deserve to be defended. And then you combine it with kind of this emotional, introspective logic And those are the two dimensions which I think drive down the Amy meter from time to time. And we love to fly it really high. That's all I got.
Thanks, Greg.
Yeah. Well, I'm not changing my opinion. I think that President Trump has used, is a vile person sometimes, and the media has responded to that. And he wants the media to set a civil tone, and the media is asking him to set a civil tone while he's president. Did it motivate this guy to do it? I don't know. Conjecture on my part. I just have a feeling that this person is not an Antifa member. I have a feeling that this person is just mentally unstable, and I don't know or think what party he's from. I just think he's ill.
Dave in Waukegan.
Good morning, Dan. Good morning, Amy. Earlier this week, one of your fellow talk show hosts played excerpts of speeches by Barack Obama and Bill Clinton to the fact of they have to secure the borders and not let illegal aliens in and so forth. But when Donald Trump says the same thing, there's outrage. Where was the outrage, the last 12 years when there was a Democrat president saying the exact same things, backing up the law? Why don't people realize it is the law?
Well, yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Dave. So the Democrat Party has moved away from that position that was articulated not so long ago by Obama, by Hillary, by Chuck Schumer, by so many we've played on the show. So where the Democrat Party moves, the D.C. Press Corps follows, because the D.C. Press Corps is the handmaiden for the Democrat Party. They're the communication shop for the Democrat Party.
Yeah.
So that's why it's changed.
And President Trump even tweeted out President Obama making that statement about securing the borders.
Marty in Naperville.
On a great show as usual. Listening to Dick Durbin. Whiny Dick Durbin, by the way, is a great name, but it's not Durbin. Talking about Donald Trump enticing these riots at his speeches, and how we're telling they should lock Hillary up. But Maxine Waters mouths off all the time. Mouths off all the time. Eric Holder mouths. It's just such a double standard, and I just don't understand how people don't see this. I just don't, and people don't. They're like, well, that's different. It's just. That's all I wanted to say. Just want to make a comment. So thank you.
Thanks, Marty. Appreciate it. Yeah. Why is it different? John in Bridgeport.
Dan was right earlier. Trump basically says what a lot of people think. It's refreshing, especially with these spineless politicians nowadays. But, Amy, Trump is so vile to you. Was JFK vile when he was with Marilyn Monroe, behind closed doors? I mean, that's vile. That's pretty vile. Sure, Jackie
I'm
thought
not
that
talking
was
about
vile.
his marriage and his infidelities on
they're
either
all
President
these
Trump's or JFK's. I was talking about, when he's talking about blood coming out of people's eyes and things like that. That was a little vile.
All these politicians are vile individuals. 99% of them are vile individuals. It's just refreshing at least to hear one call out all the lies about what's going on with the media.
Thanks for the call, John. In fact, is that one of the reasons Trump was elected? Because he was saying things that people had already concluded but were afraid to say, because most are sycophants to the press corps, even Republicans. Is that more likely the case? Is Trump really telling you anything about CNN that you didn't already know or haven't already concluded by consuming the content they offer? I mean, do you need instruction on this? John King yesterday. John King, a little panel discussion saying this.
No one's blaming the president. Is anyone blaming the president? But the president now wants to make this about him. Amen to the president for what he first said yesterday. Mm-hmm. Let's take a breath. Let's everybody tone it down. Let's just see where let the investigators do their job. Yeah. We can all be better. But then it's our fault. Why?
We can all be better, then it's our fault. While John King uttered the statement you just heard, the chyron on the screen.
What did it say?
CNN. Trump has no plans to claim any personal responsibility for inciting serial bomber. So John King is saying that no one is blaming the president while there's a chyron on the screen blaming the president. But people need instruction on CNN's coverage of the president. Otherwise, they couldn't figure it out. That's the elitist attitude that thinks people are stupid. And they wouldn't otherwise know what CNN was doing if the president wasn't calling them fake news or tweeting out invective in their direction. No one's blaming the president. Chyron blaming the president. Okay. Mark in Libertyville.
Hey, good morning, guys. Hey, my one comment to just kind of, in my perceptions, to wrap all this together is even back to the Bush years, how the press treated George Bush. I would sit and listen to all, just the bias and the unbelievable, just negative coverage that he got. That anything he said was just twisted and just woefully untruthful. And then the next 8 years with Barack Obama, and here I'm sure that the tens of millions of fellow Americans like myself sat and listened to how the media just basically just fawned over this man.
Well,
and, he could do no wrong. And so I think that is glaringly obvious. And then to fast forward right before the 2016 election, that I guess the proof came out in the WikiLeaks on how double standard of you've got 24 newscasters, reporters that are all going to these Hillary Clinton cocktail parties. And my goodness, if that is not just conflict of interest, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
Then
thanks
to now into
thanks for the call, Mark. So here's the thing. He makes a good point, which is just because the D.C. press corps doesn't have any institutional knowledge or doesn't want to offer any, doesn't mean that the American people don't. Yeah, those WikiLeaks, not only going to cocktail parties, Glenn Thrush, who was at Politico at the time, then hired by the New York Times after this, said what? I'm a toady for you in an email exchange where he gave the Clinton campaign a story to review before he posted it. We have institutional knowledge. Bush is Hitler, George W. Bush. George H.W. Bush is a CIA assassin. Alec Baldwin was going to leave the country when George H.W. Bush got elected.
That's right.
How many times do we have to play this over and over again? Ronald Reagan was infamously what? Coined by Clark Clifford, the amiable dunce. You're stupid or you're evil or you're both. John McCain, the maverick, the D.C. press corps loved to cover when he was being critical of George W. Bush or the Republican or the conservatives in Congress. And then he became the Republican Party's presidential nominee in 2008, and the first story after the primary was a foundation-free allegation that he had an affair. How many times do they have to run the same game before people figure it out? And my point in part is that a lot of people figured it out a long time ago, all along the way. Trump's just the only one that's saying what we've already figured out in so many respects. Maybe not always the way we want it said, but as a previous caller said, he's saying it. Not only do we know this, it's one of the reasons people voted for him. Mark in Des Plaines.
This whole thing reeks of a Clinton dirty trick. We don't know.
We don't know.
But Dan, you got to look at this. Look at Whitewater and all these people have done. We don't know, but Republicans don't do these things. Republicans are nonviolent. There
are exceptions. There's been instances on both sides,
maybe a few, Dan. But in the main, it's always the Democrats, the union thugs, the Marty Moylans of the world. These are the people who do this kind of crap. Not Republicans, not conservatives. Definitely not conservatives.
All right, thanks for the call, Mark.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. On AM 560, The Answer.
Wow, we've been doing a lot of roofs.
And we're ready to do yours. This is Mark Olson.
And Greg Olson from Crumweedy. Okay, say it. If your roof is needy,
call Crumweedy.
Remember that when you need repair or when you need a new roof.
It's so important to choose your roofing company wisely.
Here's our pitch.
Installation. It's the ball game.
We follow the manufacturer's specifications, so your warranty is totally intact. Most roofing companies don't do that.
When we give you a quote, we give you good, better, and best options. You decide.
And we're not going anywhere.
We're a third-generation family business. 65 years of doing great roofs.
We run the company on good, conservative values.
For any roofing problem or need, call your roofing guys, Crumweedy.
Do we have any special offers? Sure. Just ask. We'll take care of you.
Get all the info at myroofisneedy.com.
When your roof is needy,
call Crumweedy.
630-595-8020. 630-595-8020.
On AM 560 The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Opportunity Project, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
Hi, it's Amy Jacobson, and I've been raving about MyPillow for years now, but I know a lot of our listeners still aren't sleeping on a MyPillow. Well, even if you sleep well on a different pillow, I recommend you try sleeping on a MyPillow. That's because you can actually move the fill to get the support you need, regardless of your sleep position. And like I've told you, I never wake up with a stiff neck or headache. They're made in America, washable and dryable, hypoallergenic, and a 10-year warranty, 60-day money-back guarantee. So go online or call now for the buy one, get one free deal on premium MyPillows. One for you and the other for a loved one or as a holiday gift. You'll still get 30% off everything else, including the MyPillow mattress toppers, pet beds that my dog Bunky loves, luxury Giza cotton sheets, and more if you use the promo code AMY. So visit MyPillow.com or call 800-489-0201. That's 800-489-0201, promo code AMY.
This is a court-ordered notice. Current and former Ford, Lincoln, and Mercury owners or lessees can receive payments and other benefits from a legal settlement related to allegedly defective Takata airbags in their vehicles. To see if your vehicle is included and to file a claim, go to autoairbagsettlement.com or call 1-888-735-5596. That's autoairbagsettlement.com or 1-888-735-5596.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS? You may qualify for the Fresh Start program. Civic Tax Relief can give you free information on how the program works. Their professionals have over 25 years of experience negotiating with the IRS. They know the proper steps to save you the most amount of money. They will negotiate your tax debt and protect you from bank levies or wage garnishments. Call for your free Fresh Start information now. 800-955-8408. That's 800-955-8408. 800-955-8408.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
It's news, opinion, insight. It's AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago.
A postal facility in Florida under intense scrutiny. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
These devices should be considered dangerous.
And FBI Assistant Director William Sweeney says it's possible more will turn up. Fox's Rachel Sutherland has the latest on the probe, live from Washington.
Dave, the FBI has been on the scene of a large postal facility in Opa-locka, Florida, the size of several football fields. Authorities believe some of the packages addressed to high-profile Democrats went through that location. They're also going over surveillance footage of self-mailing machines located there, as well as video footage shot at businesses in the area. The packages that went through the facility had the return address of Democratic Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Dave.
Rachel, President Trump tweeted at 3 a.m., It's funny he can be criticized, even blamed for these bombs, but when he criticizes people back, it's unpresidential. Now, the president is planning to send about 800 troops to the border to help Border Patrol as that caravan of Central American migrants heads toward the U.S.
We do not have any intention right now to shoot at people. They will be apprehended, however.
And Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen says they won't be allowed in. Fox's Griff Jenkins is out with the caravan this morning in Mexico.
Most of the migrants we've encountered have been from Honduras, and they, like many others, are seeking asylum. They believe that the conditions in their country are too bad.
A church group had set up overnight in one community, giving the migrants food and water. President Putin has been invited to the White House. That's what National Security Advisor John Bolton says. We don't know when or if Putin will accept. Bolton and Putin held talks in Moscow days ago about President Trump's intention to pull out of a nuclear arms treaty the U.S. claims Russia is violating. Moscow denies that. It's happened again at Yosemite National Park. A man and a woman who fell to their deaths at a popular spot that has spectacular views at a cliff's edge, but no railing. This is Fox News.
Cloudy skies this morning, 47 degrees at 6:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. No one is saying this morning what the substance was that shut down the Illinois Capitol. Secretary of State Police this morning say they placed the Capitol on lockdown yesterday afternoon. Springfield firefighters say they found a substance in a second-floor restroom, later saying the substance was not a credible threat, and lawmakers were not in session at the time. Authorities are searching for a Madison man who is wanted for murdering a popular Chicago-area barber. Police have put out an arrest warrant for Perry Gosa. Gosa is accused of shooting Mike Carney this past Sunday at a gas station in Harvey. Gosa was the ex-boyfriend of the victim's girlfriend. No one is in custody after the owner of two restaurants in northwest suburban Lake in the Hills was shot to death in Chicago. Peter Rim was riding in a vehicle, according to police, early yesterday morning on West Diversey Avenue when someone in a trailing SUV shot him. Rim owned two neighboring restaurants in Lake in the Hills, Bistro Wasabi and El Cucino. Investigators are trying to determine the cause of a fire this morning that damaged an apartment building in Oak Lawn. 9 had to be rescued. No injuries were reported. A Chicago man accused of threatening to kill U.S. Senator Jeff Flake because he was tired of the Republican interrupting the president will face federal charges in Arizona. A U.S. magistrate judge in Arizona says a grand jury has indicted James Blevins, and that case will not be transferred to Chicago for now. It will stay in Arizona. Blackhawks close out a 3-game homestand with a 4-1 win over the Rangers. Goals for Taves, 14, Kane, and DeBrincat. They skate in St. Louis tomorrow. Bulls on the road tonight face the Hornets for the second time in 3 nights. World Series switching coast. Dodgers host the Red Sox in Game 3 tonight. And the Bears continue preparations for the Jets Sunday. The News is a service of Compassion International. Release a child from poverty when you become a Compassion sponsor. Choose your child now at compassion.com/radio and do your part to release a child from poverty today. 6:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Rich, poor, Republican, Democrat, we're all the same when it comes to property taxes.
We're not going to be living in Illinois anymore, and it's due to the property taxes.
Go to SaveYourHomeNow.org. You stay. The politicians go. Liberty Principles paid for this ad and is solely responsible for its content.
Success happens with an affordable full-time IT staff from Turnkey IT. Listen to another happy customer.
We're a doctor's office with a team of 2 doctors and 12 support staff in the northwest suburbs of Chicago, and we're one of the original all-in contracts with Turnkey IT. It's nice to never have to worry about our computer systems and concentrate on the practice. Turnkey started with replacing every piece of equipment, including all servers and PCs. Everything is warranted, and we don't even have to think about replacing hardware for the next 4 years. All this for one monthly payment that includes unlimited support, 24/7 monitoring, cloud backup, antivirus, and anti-ransomware. A truly turnkey support program, and it's all HIPAA compliant. Thanks for the peace of mind, Turnkey IT.
Your business can have great success too with a full-time IT staff starting at $7.95 a month. from Turnkey IT.
Leave the technical stuff to the pros so you can focus on the important things. Visit turnkey.pro today. Turnkey.pro.
To experience relief from muscle cramps in your legs and feet, use TheraWorks Relief. This non-greasy foam is proven to relieve muscle cramps fast and reduce muscle soreness. TheraWorks Relief can also prevent muscle cramps before they start, so you can get a full night's sleep without having to worry about muscle cramps. TheraWorks Relief only takes minutes to apply, absorbs quickly, and it works. TheraWorks Relief is a life-changing product, and you don't even need a prescription. Get TheraWorks Relief today in the pain relief aisle at Walmart, CVS, Rite Aid, and Walgreens pharmacies, or TheraWorksRelief.com.
There's nothing small about your business. Your passion, your hours, your reputation, it's all huge. Your partnerships, even bigger. With Dell Small Business Technology Advisors, you'll get the tech, advice, and one-on-one partnership to help your business grow. Because with reliable Dell PCs with Intel Core processors, you can focus on what matters most, getting business done. Call 877-BUY-DELL to speak with an advisor today. That's 877-BUY-DELL.
If you're self-employed and purchase your own health insurance, I have some good news. From now until December 15th, you cannot be denied coverage based on a pre-existing condition, and depending on your income, you may find a more affordable plan. And this year, thanks to President Trump, if you're healthy and your income is too high to qualify for a subsidy, there is a new and competitive non-Obamacare marketplace where premiums are much lower and the PPO networks include access to our teaching hospitals in Chicago. Employers who provide small group coverage also have new options, and so do seniors looking for Medicare supplement coverage. Call me. I can help.
If you're tired of calling a bureaucrat at an 800 number to help you navigate Obamacare, then you need a local expert on your side. Your own health insurance mentor. C. Stephen Tucker from healthinsurancementors.com is someone I know and trust. He's a 20-year licensed broker who's been educating our listeners for 7 years. Steve, how can our listeners get in touch with you?
Thanks, Dan. They can visit healthinsurancementors.com or call me directly at 630-674-1551.
What is future you doing right now? You could be working for UPS as a part-time package handler, now hiring in Hodgkins. Plus, receive tuition assistance from the UPS Earn and Learn program. Apply now at upsjobs.com.
It is 6:08, and let's get a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
Traffic on westbound 8094 is stop and go from Torrance Avenue up the northbound Tri-State to Chicago Road. An earlier crash is cleared out of the right lane. The Edens Expressway looks fine, but the inbound Kennedy has delays in pockets from 190 to Lawrence, and then from Washington into the Burns Circle. 27 minutes, so a hair to downtown. A little quicker in the express lanes. Outbound 21 minutes to the airport. Inbound Eisenhower, heavy Mannheim to Austin, and Demon to the Circle. 38 minutes, 390 to downtown, outbound 31. Van Stevenson slow, Harlem to Kedzie. 42 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. On Ryan, 30 minutes, 95 to downtown. Bishop Ford, 25 minutes, 8094 to the Verge. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center and our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Today and tonight, considerable cloudiness with a shower in spots. High today, 54. Low tonight, 43. Saturday, spotty drizzle in the morning. Otherwise, considerable cloudiness. High 53. Rain and drizzle on Sunday. High 52. I'm Chris Morelli on AM 560, The Answer.
It is 47 at O'Hare, 47 along the lake, 43 in Aurora. Next news at 6:30. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Make sure to check out the Income Store live video stream of today's show right now at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So President Trump yesterday tweeting an admonition to the caravan. To those in the caravan, turn around. We are not letting people to the United States illegally. Go back to your country, and if you want, apply for citizenship like millions of others are doing. And for emphasis, he's scrambling 800 troops to the border as well, considering plans to block entry to the migrants and even including some asylum seekers, at least those asylum seekers. You have a ports of entry to process yourself in if you're an asylum seeker, different than just somebody who's coming here to escape poverty, enjoy better opportunities, or for less redeemable reasons. So Trump doing the right thing to make good on what he has said, which is to use the military as needed to ensure that this caravan just doesn't kind of bust into this country. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line.
And it's not stopping them. I mean, the people that are in the caravan, they were interviewed extensively by Fox News Channel yesterday. I watched that. And they said, we went through, the Honduran army tried to stop us. They didn't. The Mexican army tried to stop us. They didn't. So even though President Trump's going to send troops, they're still coming. The one person that was interviewed was very defiant and very headstrong that he is going to come into this country. Another person was interviewed who said, I have a job in Los Angeles waiting for me as a gardener. So I'm going with this group to get in, and then they'll wire me bus money so I can get to L.A.
And I understand that, but Ari Fleischer, former W press secretary, of course, had a good piece at Fox News talking about, that he is a pro-immigration reform Republican, the son of immigrant who welcomes legal immigrants to our country. However, the people marching here would be better served if they applied to come to America legally. If they try to come here illegally, they should not be let in. Escaping poverty is a natural desire, but it's not an excuse to take advantage of America's generosity or to stretch our laws to the breaking point. It seems to be a fairly straightforward, reasonable position, but I'll tell you who Fox News didn't interview, I bet. Who you probably haven't seen, because I
The guy holding the Honduran flag?
No. Try to find a congressional Democrat or congressional Democrat candidate to offer any position on this issue.
Uh-huh.
Beto O'Rourke, It Girl for 2018. Intellectual North Star for the 21st Century Democrat Party along with AOC. Maybe AOC would weigh in on this.
And Beto O'Rourke's in El Paso. He's from El Paso. He knows this issue.
Right. He'll get back to you on it.
Yeah.
He'll get back to you on the caravan. There's the leadership you're looking for from your United States Senator, huh? Maybe that's why Beto O'Rourke is going to lose, one of the many reasons. But it's so interesting. You cannot get an answer from a congressional Democrat in a competitive race on this issue, and that should tell you a lot.
They don't want to lose constituents. They don't want to lose their voters because people are divided on this, and it's a touchy subject.
Well, no. People aren't divided on this. The Democrat constituency is at odds with the supermajority of the American public. That's the difference. So they don't want to lose their base. This tells you, yes, about Beto O'Rourke, but it's much more instructive about who the 21st Century Democrat Party is. I cannot take a stand against 7, 10,000, 12,000, whatever the number is.
12,000. It's 14,000. Then yesterday was 4,500.
I cannot take a stand against 14,000 people saying, I demand entry into your country, no questions asked, on my own terms. I can't take a stand against that. It's not possible for me to take a stand for the rule of law. If that doesn't tell you where the Democrat Party is, I don't know what does.
Well, Homeland Security Director Kirstjen Nielsen sat down with Fox News yesterday along the border, so she's actually there. And she said basically President Trump is enacting a travel ban along the Mexican border and send out another warning. Don't you dare.
There seems to be a misunderstanding among the caravan. If you are coming here to seek family reunification, that is not asylum. You cannot stay. If you are coming here to seek a job, that is not asylum. You cannot stay.
But the reality is that they can stay. That's what you're telling me in the numbers, that people get across this border. We're right, 30 yards from it right now. And that may be what they're hearing, but the truth is that when they get here, they can stay.
Well, what they should know is given this caravan, given this president's commitment, if they come here illegally with no legitimate reason to stay, they absolutely will be apprehended and removed immediately.
So apprehension, they will be caught and sent back.
Well, I think the purpose of the military, ostensibly that this is the purpose, is to not get into this whole matter of detention and get into the challenges with family separation policy. It's to repel them. It's just to turn them around. You shall not cross this line. See you later. You're not coming in.
You're not.
We're not processing you.
No.
We're not detaining you. We're turning you around. You've, walk it back the way you came, essentially, or attempt to enter this country legally by following the laws in place.
And questions about, are there Middle Easterners, terrorists, embedded in this caravan?
So we stop about 3,000 what we call special interest aliens a year from coming through the southwest border. Pakistanis, Somalis, Bangladeshis, others who we are worried who have they're basically terrorist travel patterns. So we are, we see that. We stop about 3,000
So not
of those.
necessarily as part of this caravan, but in general, the overall big numbers.
We're working with our partners to find out as best as they can tell us who is in this caravan. What we do know are that people that I just described are part of the flow.
Yeah, and the people that are part of the flow, people that are part of the flow she's talking about, are easily identified by other people in the flow.
Right, exactly.
Nixon
they
Hernandez
call each other out.
Nixon Hernandez is one of the Honduran migrants. He did an interview with Fox News the other day. He said this straight away.
Criminals is everywhere, okay? It's criminals in here. It is, but it's not that many. It's good people in here trying to get through Mexico and then get to the United States, but that doesn't mean that everybody's a criminal.
Right, exactly, which is what the president said. Thank you, Mr. Hernandez, for your integrity.
And now turn around and go home.
Well, or attempt to come here legally again. This is not, turn around and go home and we don't care about you. It's attempt to come here legally, like anybody else from Honduras would have to, or any other country. And by the way, the idea that there are some criminals attempting to get in, people who have been previously deported attempting to get in, perhaps more sophisticated than just your average street criminal or gang member trying to get in. And so is that a rounding error? We should, it's a small percentage. I agree. Let's stipulate it. It's a small percentage. So is one too many, or is a small percentage? That's just, a rounding error for the government. And if they come to this country, that small percentage of 10,000 people, let's say it's 1/10 of 1%, right? 1/10 of 1%, 10,000. So let's say it's 10 people. If those 10 people come here and commit crimes, violent crimes perhaps, against other Americans, against other people here illegally, what do we do? Shrug our shoulders? That's a rounding error. Sorry. But we're serious about getting violent criminals who don't belong in America out of America. No, you're not. Democrats aren't. Corey in Woodlawn, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, my question is that if the people are coming here because they're seeking asylum because something has happened in their country, why are they waving those countries' flags? To me, symbols matter. So if symbols matter, what symbol are they sending? That they're planting their country's flag in our country?
Yeah, that's a good question, Corey. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. It is bizarre if you don't like what's happening in your country so much to the point that you're willing to trek to America, then why would you be celebrating your country?
Right. It's like a parade.
Let's
celebrate Honduras. Woo! It's so goofy. Every time I watch it, and then, the El Salvadorian flag, it's just so strange that there is. And then somebody yesterday had a little drum that they were pounding. I know they want to keep it moving, to approach the border. They travel about 40 miles.
Razzle dazzle.
But it's so goofy.
Well,
to me.
The other thing, just thinking about this optically, to Corey's point, if you wanted to generate even more empathy for your cause, what would you do?
You'd hold the American flag.
Bingo.
Hello. That's what I mean.
Look, you have these Honduran migrants and others coming to this country. They're waving the American flag. They want to be good, productive Americans. And so let's at least give them the benefit of the doubt. That's what's, certainly if you convey that symbolically, as Corey mentioned, symbols do matter, that would be more interesting, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be more compelling?
Yeah, throw on a MAGA hat or something.
Yeah,
but, I mean,
there you go.
The guy holding the Honduran flag was so agitated, and he even said, "We're taking this to Trump. We're coming into your country, and we're going to D.C." Like,
I would even take a MAG hat, the Kanye MAG hat, "Make America Great." Just drop the again, even.
Oh, that's right.
But
Yeah.
but remember what Mike Pence said this week. He had the conversation with the Honduran president, and the Honduran president tells him that the Venezuelan government, the communist government, Maduro, disaster of a country, destroying
He destroyed Venezuela.
hundreds of thousands, millions of people's lives, destroyed by the Venezuelan communists. But that the Venezuelan government and other leftist guerrilla, GUERILLA groups are behind this.
And Kirsten Nielsen, she mentioned that last night too, that they are sponsoring it. Because every time that they've stopped, somebody's providing food and water, and they have the tent set up, so they're being aided along the way.
John in Schaumburg.
Hey, good morning. Listen, Trump got my vote because of his campaign pledges that he would drain the swamp and he would have stronger border policies, build the wall. You need to continuously play the State of the Union address from Clinton and Obama because they said the same thing. But you know what? They didn't do it. They were all talk, okay? Now, after he builds the wall or while he's building the wall, let's drain the swamp. Let's tell America how much Maxine Waters is worth, how much Feinstein is worth, how Feinstein's husband got the federal contract. Drain the swamp. That's our next move.
All right. Thanks, John. Tom in Hobart, Indiana.
Yes. I expect the military to follow through and stop them at the border. And if they keep marching, then you have to fire upon the crowd. Just start shooting. And let the chips fall where they may. Why is that an extreme position? I don't think it is. I'd say that's a mainstream position.
No, well, you don't want to. You're not going to mow down unarmed people, Tom. You don't want to do that.
Well, I'm just saying. Okay, then why not find some like Contra types in Latin America to take these people on before they get to the border?
Okay, Tom, thanks for the call.
I mean, they did try tear gas in Mexico, and that didn't work.
Right. Which
I thought was a little aggressive.
If the people are not violent, then this is a crowd control exercise. This is not a shoot when you see the whites of their eyes exercise.
Shoot them.
We have the requisite force at our disposal for crowd control, which is what this is. Now, if you have serious violence being committed by the caravan, by members of the caravan, well, that's a different story. But you're not going to repel them with force because you don't need to. You're not going to shoot unarmed people, and we would never want to do that. Come on, Anthony in Plainfield.
Thanks for taking my call. President Trump is doing absolutely what is necessary. This is the one of the very limited powers of federal government is to protect our borders, and that is exactly what he's doing. And I agree with you, Dan. There's no reason to shoot at unarmed people. There is enough thought and training, and our military is going to do the right thing by repelling them without shooting at them. So.
Thanks, Anthony.
And I think it's gonna be a long, long walk until I get to the United States. I'm not the man my passport says I am. Oh, no, no, no. I'm in the caravan. Caravan. Holding up the Honduran flag. Holding up the Honduran flag.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Hey guys, Ken here from the award-winning podcast Today's Growth. If you had to choose sides, which camp would you rather be in? Would you rather have time and no money, or money and no time? Did you know that 95% of U.S. adults by choice have settled into these categories? Much more interesting is that 1 out of 20 people have built their life around achieving simultaneous control of both time and money. What choices did these 5% make that the others didn't? My friends at Income Store have shown both households and businesses how to build second, third, and even fourth revenue streams for the express purpose of gaining control of time. When it comes to helping folks create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
The school year started just a short time ago, but it's not too late for your son or daughter to get the outstanding education and preparation for life that St. John's Northwestern Military Academy offers with their ongoing enrollment program. For years, St. John's Northwestern Military Academy has served young men and is now an excellent co-ed environment. Not a school for troubled kids, but one that will prepare young men and women for college by focusing on rigorous academics and leadership with a safe, secure, and structured environment free from distractions that's conducive to successful learning. St. John's Northwestern Military Academy in the beautiful Lake Country region of southeast Wisconsin inspires personal growth through a commitment to excellence in academics, spiritual, and character development, athletics, and their military traditions. And there's still time to enroll your son or daughter for this school year. Call 1-800-SJ-CADET. That's 1-800-SJ-CADET, or visit their website, sjnma.org. That's sjnma.org.
Want your home's furnace to stay safe and reliable? And want to prevent any potential problems before they happen? At your local 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning, we recommend an annual furnace inspection and tune-up. Right now, get a $79 furnace tune-up. Call 855-1-HOUR. Because not taking care of your furnace, that's just cold.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1 Hour.
Terms and conditions may apply. Call for details. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
Hey, Craig and Leslie here from In the Know. Leslie, people have a big decision to make. Thankfully, we live in this great country and get to exercise our right to vote and elect the person we think will be best for our family's futures.
Craig, it sounds like you're asking listeners to vote for us.
Listen, you can't control market unpredictability, but you can choose to ride out the highs and lows with Wealth Management Group at your side.
When making any big decisions concerning your financial future, choose us, Wealth Management Group, and listen to In the Know Sunday mornings at 10 right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Did you know that studies have shown that we need over 10 servings of fruits and veggies every single day? If you're like me, it's hard to find the time and money to prepare and eat all of those fruits and vegetables. Who can do that? Yet we know that proper nutrition can prevent health problems, give us energy, and help us heal faster. Balance of Nature has spent over 20 years researching and delivering solutions to this problem. We can ensure that you consume over 30 different fruits and veggies every single day. Our capsules are filled with 100% real whole foods. There isn't a single thing added to Balance of Nature products. They're pure. We spent an incredible amount of time on the quality of our products. We do this for you. We do it for our own families. Give yourself a break and give your body what it needs. Call now to receive 35% off your first Balance of Nature order. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
Are customers passing you by because it's a major hassle to park in your lot? Convenient and safe parking may be one of the most overlooked aspects of your business. You've neglected your parking lot for way too many years. It's falling apart and could be scaring business away. Pavement Solutions can get your parking lot in shape. With proper care, you can extend the life of your current lot with Pavement Solutions' certified specialty blend product called Gem Seal, Black Diamond, and Duramax. Yeah, it's a mouthful, but the best seal coat product in the industry. It'll protect your lot from sub-zero temperatures to a scorching 110-degree sun and features an abrasive, non-slip coat for safety and durability. With Enduramax, your lot will have that brand new feel and look at a fraction of the price of a new lot. You and your customers will be safe, and your business will look great. For parking lot repairs to snow removal, go to fixmylots.org. That's fixmylots.org. And get a free estimate. Plus, learn about getting 5% off your next job from Pavement Solutions.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Thank God for New Jersey politics, because it helps Illinois to not feel so lonely at 6:36.
And later, a birthday surprise that will melt your heart. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Gray skies, 47 degrees. Investigators are on the manhunt this morning They're looking for the person or persons who sent mail bombs to critics of the president. Focusing on South Florida, Miami-Dade police and the FBI called out to help agents look for clues at a postal service facility in Opelika, Florida. Former Vice President Joe Biden is hoping recent bomb threats against high-profile Democrats will force some politicians to change their tones.
This division, this hatred, this ugliness, it has to end.
Biden wanted several Democrats and opponents of President Trump who were sent the bomb packages. U.S. National Security Advisor John Bolton says the White House has invited Russian President Vladimir Putin to Washington. Our reporter Mark Mayfield is in Washington.
Bolton made the announcement at a news conference in the former Soviet Republic of Georgia. He didn't say if Putin accepted the invitation. Trump and Putin plan to meet in Paris on November the 11th during an event to commemorate the end of World War I. Bolton said the Paris meeting would be brief. Mark Mayfield, NBC News Radio.
The chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee is asking the Justice Department to conduct a possible criminal investigation of Julie Swetnick and her attorney, Michael Avenatti. Avenatti reacted yesterday.
We want a full and complete investigation into each of my client's allegations, and we're going to put Judge Kavanaugh on trial, and we're going to test his credibility against that of me and my client. We welcome that fight.
Swetnick made sensational accusations against Kavanaugh before being confirmed to the Supreme Court. Well, if you're traveling east this weekend, beware. The first nor'easter of the season is hitting the East Coast. It's the remnants of Hurricane Willa combining with storms off the Atlantic coast, wind, rain, low clouds, heavy winds, delaying flights and slowing travel. No one's saying what the substance was that shut down the Illinois Capitol yesterday. Secretary of State Police placed the Capitol on lockdown. Springfield firefighters later found a substance and said it was not a credible threat. Lawmakers were not in session. No one is in custody after the owner of two restaurants in Lake in the Hills was shot to death in Chicago. Peter Rim was riding in a vehicle yesterday in the 4100 block of West Diversey Avenue when someone in an SUV shot him. Rim owned neighboring restaurants in Lake in the Hills, Bistro Wasabi, and El Cochino. McDonald's is bringing back McRib. Fast food giant announcing the cult favorite. It's once again back on the menu at 9,000 U.S. restaurants. McDonald's hasn't had the McRib since November of last year, and it will be available for only a limited time. If you're keeping track, McDonald's has had the McRib on and off the menu since, can you guess? 1981. Blackhawks winners over the Rangers 4-1. The Bulls were winners on Wednesday night over the Hornets. They take on Charlotte again tonight. Deshaun Watson, 5 touchdown passes as the Texans beat the Dolphins 42-23. The news service of Unbound.org. You can help change the future of young people across the world in a single moment. See how far your support can go at Unbound.org. 6:33 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
He's electrified the 2016 Republican National Convention.
Blue Lives Matter in America.
He's been a strong voice in support of law enforcement, and he hasn't been afraid to call out groups like Black Lives Matter. And Sheriff David Clark is coming to Freedom Summit 2018 on October 27th in Itasca, presented by Geiger Wealth Management, Chicago's retirement planning experts. Get your tickets today before they sell out. Go to freedomsummitchicago.com. That's freedomsummitchicago.com.
A storm is on the horizon, and you need to keep the lights on no matter what. Your business relies on the power being on 24/7. It's the lifeblood of your data and computer systems. Weather-related outages from the power company are not acceptable. Your need for a source of power that's reliable 24/7, along with round-the-clock service that can dispatch technicians to your site immediately, is mission critical. Your business needs Charles Equipment Energy Systems on speed dial. These are the big boys, not residential or solar, but reliable industrial generators for emergency backup or events. When you need more than a 100-foot extension cord plugged into a small engine generator, call Charles Equipment Energy Systems. They keep the lights on with rental generators for job sites or power outages. Stay warm this winter. Plan ahead. Call now to prepare generators for winter storms and potential power outages. Call 630-834-6000. That's 630-834-6000 or charlesequipment.com. charlesequipment.com.
What if you could enjoy total peace of mind when it comes to home security? What if the best technology came from a local company who puts the customer's needs first? Alarm Detection Systems is the right choice for an alarm system with complete control from your phone or tablet. Know when your children arrive home from school. View live streaming video. Check up on your pets. Receive alerts for extreme temperatures. Know if leaks or floods have been detected. Get real-time text alerts sent to your phone. Family-owned and operated since 1968, Alarm Detection Systems understands that nothing is more important than the safety of your family. Your security system will be monitored by our central station in Aurora, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Alarm Detection Systems is an authorized Honeywell equipment dealer. Our on-site security consultation is always free. Visit adsalarm.com or call 630-844-6322. That's 630-844-6322. Alarm license number 127000143.
Check out the newest podcast from the Associated Press, Ground Game, hosted by AP's Megyn Kelly, a weekly conversation about top political issues ahead of the upcoming midterm elections. Available on Apple Podcasts.
6:36. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Inbound Stevenson Expressway traffic stop and go county line to LaGrange Road. The exit to southbound LaGrange is blocked with a vehicle fire. So expect congestion in that area, including on LaGrange Road. Or inbound Stevenson delays kicking at Harlem, looking at about 50 minutes. 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 40 minutes. Eden's 23 minutes Lake Cook Junction, outbound 19. Kennedy, 40 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 20 from Montrose 8 to the Express, outbound 22 to the airport. On Eisenhower, heavy due to a crash at Austin in the left lane. It's 55 minutes, 390 to downtown, outbound 31. Ryan, you get 31 minutes, 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State heavy southwest highway to the 83rd Street toll. It's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center, considerable clouds. Shower and spots, high 54. Cloudy with a shower and spots overnight. Hit or miss showers, we'll call it, low 43. 47 at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 7. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Don't forget that you can watch Chicago's Morning Answer on the Income Store live video stream every morning at 560theanswer.com.
If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy, and going to get to some of these midterm races that are sort of interesting and will make you feel a little bit better about being an Illinois resident for those who are Illinois residents. That our lowbrow politics is not unique. It may be the worst example in the country, but there are some others competing, most notably New Jersey. But before we get to Bob Menendez's reelection, let's take Deborah from Sarasota, Florida. Hi, Deborah.
Hi there. How are you?
Good.
So I saw your post on Facebook.
Okay.
About the CNN and the rhetoric.
Yeah. And?
Okay.
So I don't believe that Donald Trump is responsible for any of these things. You know, he's not perfect. Sometimes he can be a little harsh. But we elected him because he wasn't politically correct and he wasn't a politician. We wanted a businessman. And I think the hatred and the vile, I think it's pretty big stretch for CNN and others to be blaming him.
Yeah.
And you have to look at what has Maxine Waters been doing. And Madonna threatened to blow up the White House. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, I could go on and on. But I don't believe that he has anything to do with bombs that were sent to all these Democrats that were pretty much designed not to detonate.
Thanks for the call, Deborah. Appreciate it. I mean, it's interesting. When will CNN just say that Trump sent the bombs himself? I mean, remember, this is a crew. Chris Hayes on MSNBC, followed up by Joaquin Castro, who's a member of Congress, member of the House Democrat Caucus, who insinuated
what was that again?
That the Trump administration, and or Jared Kushner, ordered the hit on Khashoggi, the Saudi quote-unquote journalist who was murdered.
It's so ridiculous. Like they had some kill list in their back pocket or something.
This is
ridiculous.
This is what a member of the D.C. press corps, Chris Hayes at MSNBC, tweeted out, followed a few days later, interview that we played, the pertinent part on this show, from Joaquin Castro, suggesting the president and his son-in-law were behind the assassination of Jamal Khashoggi. So, I mean, just to give you some proportion here in terms of rhetoric and recklessness.
And the recklessness continues. I mean, listen to former Vice President Joe Biden, who was supposed to be the recipient of 2 pipe bombs.
We've got to turn off this hate machine. We've got to come together. The American public have been all over the nation. People want us to be more civil. People want us to choose.
So tired. I mean, it's so tired. I don't even want to hear the rest of it. It's just the same pablum you hear. You'll hear for another 48 hours, and then next week, depending on what happens with the investigation, it'll go away, and people will return to their normally scheduled political rhetoric. Mm-hmm. I mean, these hamster wheels that we insist on running upon. Okay, Frank in Lake in the Hills, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, Frank.
Yes. The reason I was calling is that I heard on, I think it was Rush Limbaugh, one of those shows, saying you can't ask for asylum. The law says you got to ask for it at the first country you come to, which would have been Mexico. So I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I heard.
Well, you can apply for political asylum in the United States. Yeah.
They said you got to come to the first country you come to. You got to apply for it.
Well, okay.
I don't know. Maybe you could check it out. But anyway, thank you.
Thanks for the call,
Kirsten
Frank.
Nielsen did mention that the first country they came that offered asylum was Mexico.
Yes.
So she's saying you should stay in Mexico
because Mexico has offered asylum.
Yes, and with that you can have free food and water.
And by the way,
for the rest of your life,
you can apply. I mean, if you are somebody fleeing political persecution, religious persecution, the standards for asylum in this country, then you can find refuge in Mexico and then turn around and apply for asylum here. We should provide asylum for the politically and religiously persecuted. But there's a process. We're not just going to take your word for it. Bob in Buffalo Grove.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. I got a question for you. When did all this uncivility really start?
At the founding of the nation. 1775. Yeah.
In recent years, they're all blaming like Trump for all of this stuff right now, and I'm just wondering, there was stuff back in the '60s. I remember all the stuff in the '60s.
Sure.
I'm older.
Yeah.
But
no.
I'm not. They didn't blame the severity of the blame. And the level of it is nothing. Well, I'll have to admit, in the '60s there was all the bombings.
Yeah. How about the
weathermen?
Right.
Yeah. Now they tore up downtown.
Right. Yeah. I mean, thanks for the call, Bob. Right. I mean, we've never been through this before. We've never been through when the ignorant and the maladjusted turn to violence to advance a political agenda. Of course we have. That's what I'm saying. I mean, there's no institutional knowledge here. It was all harmonious. It was all milk and honey and balloons and kitty cats prior to Trump being elected. Everybody got along so famously. Barack Obama didn't divide this country. It wasn't a polarized country under Barack Obama. In point of fact, didn't he say, not that I take him at his word, but it's worth noting he said it, that his greatest regret is how divided the country was, that he wasn't able to heal the country and part the seas and all the rest of the nonsense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did say that.
Right, but it's all sui generis. It's all started with Trump in 2016. Nonsense. Just nonsense. Alex in West Dundee.
Hey, good morning, Dan. Good morning, Amy. You got to make Mexico do the work. They got 3,000 miles to stop these people, and if they don't, pull the factories out, threaten them with that, and we're no longer going to their hotels, and that'll hit them real quick.
Well, okay, thanks for the call, Alex. I don't think the government should be in the business of deciding where companies locate facilities, so pull the factories out. No, but I mean, one of the things that the Trump administration and president has said is we're going to hit the Central American countries in their pocketbooks with respect to U.S. foreign aid, and that's appropriate. That's appropriate, frankly, on principle, but it's particularly appropriate in this instance, which is, by the way, why the Honduran president is talking to Mike Pence and trying to be constructive and trying to provide information that could be useful, ostensibly, is because, that money means something to the Honduran government specifically. And we'll talk about the general problems with foreign aid at a later time. Lucy in Lowell, Indiana.
Yes. You talk about that these are unarmed people. Well, they're unarmed until they get into the United States. Didn't we just have a cache of illegal weapons discovered here in the Chicagoland region, Sanctuary City? These are military-age men. I think we have...
Well, right. That's why we should keep them out. Yeah, I know.
Correct.
Right. No, I agree. Thanks for the call, Lucy. I mean, we had that ISIS training camp in New Mexico. I mean, yes, there's no question. This is why the military, if that's what's needed to repel them, should be deployed, and that's why the Trump administration is attempting to do it. I mean, it's just simple rule of law stuff. and I say again, it is noteworthy that you cannot get a Democrat congressional candidate or a aspiring Democrat presidential candidate for 2020 in a competitive race anywhere in this country to weigh in on whether or not the caravan should be allowed in the United States. It should tell you something about the Democratic Party, and it should tell you something about the Democrat Party vis-a-vis the larger American population.
Especially Beto. I mean, of all congressional members, he is on the border.
El Paso.
And he went to El Paso High School. He lived it. It's his whole life.
He's still looking at the issue. He'll get back to you.
He's still looking at it? He lived it.
Joe in St. Charles.
Yes, good morning.
Morning.
Is a solution for the caravan to issue everybody a Magna hat and have Antifa stop them at the border. That violence would certainly be permissible. Yeah. Also on the folks invoking sympathy, carrying the flag for America, isn't our new flag the rainbow with a sickle and hammer now?
That's the flag that some salute, yes.
Would you please look at immigrationcounter.com and look at some of the numbers they throw up at cost for immigration? I think the wall is a cheap deal.
All right.
Thank you so much, Dan, for all you do.
Thank for the call, Joe. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Both you and Joe. Mike on the north side.
Good morning, kids. Amy, what was all this hatred directed toward you for the first hour I heard? They're picking on America's sweetheart. This isn't right.
Stop sucking up. Go ahead, Mike.
Hey. I just wanted to say, forget about this caravan. Forget about the bombs. Let's talk about Trump. The economy's great. Thank you, President Trump. Our enemies fear us. Our allies respect us. Thank you, President Trump. Businesses are growing, well, everywhere except Illinois, of course. Thank you, President Trump. That's what we should vote on. Trump did not send a bomb. Trump did not rape a woman like Clinton. Trump did not drown a woman like Ted Kennedy. Trump did not push unlimited abortions like Obama and this goof Rauner. Vote for Trump and make America great again.
All right, there you go. That's thanks for the call, Mike. And that's from the spokesman and founder of the LGBT party, the Love, Guns, Bacon, and Trump party, yes. Mike on the north side. So that's almost a campaign statement. John in Palatine.
Hi, Dan and Amy. I just wanted to make the comment that
setting aside our political labels like Democrat and Republican or independent, I think all of this violence, and like the last caller said, there's bombs and violence and trouble. I think people are really upset about just politicians in general. 4 years ago, I voted for a governor that was supposed to keep my state a sanctuary-free state and lower my taxes and prevent abortions, and he did none of these things. The Democratic Party is throwing $2.6 million again into the Roscom and Casson campaign, and Roscom has 1.2. How do you compete against that? Like you said, the Democrats, no running Democrats will stand against a bunch of invading illegal or potential illegal aliens demanding to be in our border, and that taxpayers like me and you and everyone else have to pay for them and pay for their school. So I think that's why all of this violence and civil unrest is bubbling up to the top, because on either side, none of these things make sense anymore.
Thanks for the call, John. Art and McHenry.
Good morning. I've been sitting here for 2 years. I listen to both sides. I'm a truck driver, so I'm on the radio listening all day, both sides. When I get home, I'm looking at both sides. For over 2 years, Trump's been being attacked by the media. His supporters have been being attacked by the media nonstop. There's anger coming out of their faces, out of their mouths. Trump says, lock her up. That's not inciting violence. That's expecting the FBI to do their damn job, prosecute her and anyone else. He's not inciting violence. You know, no one remembers that right after the election here in Chicago, they kidnapped a mentally handicapped guy and tortured him because they claimed he was a Trump supporter. You know, and people were getting yanked out of their cars, beaten at intersections right after the election because they were white, because they automatically claimed that they were Trump supporters.
Yeah, there were incidents like that. You're right. You're right. Those things did happen. We've talked about some of the incidents on this show. Those things have happened. There's no question. Thanks for the call, Art.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper. Hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Durable goods demand increasing again. Mortgage rates higher. Ford recalling 1.5 million compact cars because of fuel system issues. Those stories next.
G'day, I'm Scott from Plug-in Pest Free. I want to personally thank all my Plug-in Pest Free customers who have taken the time out to call, write, and who have left messages to thank me for ridding their homes and businesses of unwanted rodent and pest problems. So from me to you, I thank you. Plug-in Pest Free is the only scientifically tested and, more importantly, consumer-proven electromagnetic pest management system since 1995. Why put up with those annoying rodents and pests any longer? Plug-in Pest Free is 100% chemical-free, making it your safest bet to manage your rodent and pest problems around your family and pets. With a 60-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to lose. So order yours today at gopestfree.com. Use promo code SAVE20 for 20% off and free shipping. That's gopestfree.com, promo code SAVE20. Don't spray and regret. Plug in and forget. Gopestfree.com today.
As we head into the weekend, a new report indicates demand for big-ticket manufactured goods moving higher, up 0.8% in September compared to August 4.6%. The number is influenced by a 17% decline in orders from the aircraft industry, as well as cautious investment while the U.S. and China resolve differences over trade. Mortgage buyer Freddie Mac says long-term interest rates ticked higher this week. The national average on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage now stands at 4.86%. Ford Motor Company recalling 1.5 million Ford Focus compact cars, problems in their fuel systems that may cause the engine to stall without warning. That recall covers models from 2012 through 2018. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 and 10 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
I absolutely love MyPillow and how it's changed the way I sleep. So when I heard about the new MyPillow mattress topper, I couldn't wait to try it. Now I don't know if I love MyPillow or the MyPillow mattress topper more. It's that good. Now you can get a great deal on a MyPillow mattress topper and start getting the best sleep of your life. The exclusive 3-layer design includes MyPillow foam for support, transitional foam to help relieve pressure points, and an ultra-soft patented temperature-regulating cover. It has a 10-year warranty and a cover that is washable and dryable. It's made in America and has Mike Lindell's 60-day money-back guarantee. You'll get the total body support you need and sleep better. And right now, you'll save 30% when you use the promo code Amy Plus. You will receive 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free. Or you can still receive the buy one, get one free offer if you just want the MyPillow. So visit mypillow.com, type Amy in that promo code for 30% off, or call 800-489-0201.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
This stuff is the best stuff I've ever taken. I don't take any medicine. I take nothing. If I get a little scratchy throat or even a headache, I take the vegetables. It works very fast. Or I'm feeling like a little down, tired, I take 3 of them, 4 of them, and I'm right up back to where I was. It's unreal how this stuff works, and I rave about it. This guy's a genius when it comes down to it. If anyone's skeptical about taking something, I get it. There's thousands of products out there. Look, you can be confident in this because the one thing that makes me really, really happy about is that you guys make the capsule out of a plant-based product. It's not crap. It's real food, like you would put on the dinner table.
For a limited time, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies and have them shipped to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Radical protests storm Washington. Far left extremists demanding their way or the highway.
And you don't give power to an angry left-wing mob.
Standing with them, Senator Joe Donnelly. Donnelly says he's one of us, yet time after time he stands with them. Voting against Brett Kavanaugh to be on the Supreme Court. Voting against President Trump's historic tax cuts. And Donnelly claims to be full of common sense. But he voted for the reckless nuclear deal with Iran that makes us less safe. Senator Donnelly, he just isn't who he says he is. Mike Braun is a political outsider, job creator, and doer. Mike Braun's one of us. He'll help President Trump make the tax cuts permanent, and he'll vote to confirm conservative judges like Brett Kavanaugh. On Election Day, stand with Mike Braun for Senate.
I'm Mike Braun, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Mike Braun for Indiana.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Chris Veldman of ServiceMaster DSI, the largest ServiceMaster franchise in the United States and a customer of Signature Bank. In our business, we respond to disaster, and we never know when disaster will strike, whether it's flooding in Louisiana or a house fire in Chicago. Not all banks understand that need for flexibility, but Signature Bank does. That's why we consider them so much more than a bank. They have been our business partner since 2006, when their 3 co-founders, Mick, Kevin, and Brian, started the bank. Signature Bank is a key part of our growth strategy at ServiceMaster DSI.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Chico. Megyn Kelly negotiating her exit from NBC. Boy, that didn't work out. I mean, it'll work out financially for her, but that was a shooting star, wasn't it? We'll ask Brett Baer about his former colleague at 707.
Yeah, and we'll tell you why. She wants Rowan Farrow in on her exit meeting today, which should take place in a few hours. But now let's go into the newsroom and catch up with news here at home and around the world. Here is the one and only Mike Scott.
An Oak Lawn apartment building damaged by fire early this morning. A Lake in the Hills restaurant owner shot and killed in Chicago. We'll have the latest on that investigation. WIND Chicago News Time, 7 o'clock.
Did some of the suspicious packages go through a postal facility in Florida?
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's the newest developments.
Authorities focused on one U.S. postal facility in Opa-locka, Florida. Though investigators would not say whether they believe the suspects were still in the state of Florida. Overnight, federal agents, along with Miami-Dade County Police, were actively working the scene at that post office, looking for any clues into the person or group responsible.
Fox's Todd Pyro. The FBI has said it's possible more will turn up. They're all similar, with bomb-like devices inside the envelopes sent to prominent Democrats and Trump critics. The caravan of thousands of Central American migrants has been on the move early this morning before it gets too hot, headed from Mexico to the U.S.
If they are truly fearing for their lives and they're being persecuted, they don't need to get to the United States. They should be seeking refuge in Mexico.
Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen, hundreds of U.S. troops will be sent to help the Border Patrol. Will Vladimir Putin be coming to the White House? He's gotten an invitation days after Russia denied claims it's violating a nuclear arms treaty the U.S. intends to withdraw from. Fox's Simon Owen details live from London.
Dave, confirmation from President Trump's national security advisor, John Bolton.
We have invited President Putin to Washington after the first of the year for basically a full day of consultations.
Bolton speaking on a trip to the country of Georgia, having spent 2 days in Moscow earlier this week. It would be Putin's first visit to the U.S. since Russia was accused of meddling in the 2016 presidential election campaign, a charge Russia denies. Dave?
Well, Simon, the former Trump advisor, who was the first to plead guilty in the special counsel's Russia probe for lying to the FBI, spent hours talking to congressional investigators yesterday, and George Papadopoulos just told Fox.
I believe there was tremendous misconduct on the government's behalf regarding my case.
This is Fox News.
Skies are cloudy, 47 degrees at 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Authorities continue searching for a Matson man wanted for murdering a popular Chicago area barber in front of his 5-year-old daughter. Police have put on an arrest warrant for Perry Gosa, accused of shooting Mike Carney this past Sunday at a gas station in Harvey. No one in custody after the owner of 2 restaurants in Lake in the Hills was shot to death in Chicago. Police say Peter Rim was riding in a vehicle early yesterday morning on West Diversey Avenue when someone pulled up in an SUV and shot him. Rim owned 2 neighboring restaurants in Lake in the Hills, Bistro Wasabi and El Cucino. 2 mass shootings in Chicago this week could be related. Police say a shooting that wounded 5 men Wednesday night outside of a home on South King Drive may have been in retaliation for 6 people being shot Monday outside of a funeral for a local rap artist. The process of approving a proposed consent decree aimed at reforming the Chicago Police Department is moving forward. Testimony was heard yesterday in the second of 2 public hearings at the Dirksen Federal Building. Now 4 teams have been chosen as finalists for the job of overseeing the department's progress toward complying with that decree. The public will have a chance to question those finalists at hearings at the Thompson Center on November 3rd. An Illinois appeals court wants Governor Rauner to keep talking to the state's largest public employee union. Court said yesterday contract negotiations between the state and AFSCME are not at an impasse. The governor himself declared an impasse in January of 2016. Blackhawks over the Rangers 4-1. Bulls on the road tonight to take on Charlotte. The news service of Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, their grief is unique, but you are not alone. MADD is here to help. Call their 24-hour victim helpline, 877-MADD-HELP, MADD.org. We'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
To experience relief from muscle cramps in your legs and feet, use TheraWorks Relief. This non-greasy foam is proven to relieve muscle cramps fast and reduce muscle soreness. TheraWorks Relief can also prevent muscle cramps before they start, so you can get a full night's sleep without having to worry about muscle cramps. TheraWorks Relief only takes minutes to apply, absorbs quickly, and it works. TheraWorks Relief is a life-changing product, and you don't even need a prescription. Get TheraWorks Relief today in the pain relief aisle at Walmart, CVS, Rite Aid, and Walgreens pharmacies, or TheraWorksRelief.com.
There's nothing small about your business. Your passion, your hours, your reputation, it's all huge. Your partnerships, even bigger. With Dell Small Business Technology Advisors, you'll get the tech, advice, and one-on-one partnership to help your business grow. Because with reliable Dell PCs with Intel Core processors, you can focus on what matters most, getting business done. Call 877-BUY-DELL to speak with an advisor today. That's 877-BUY-DELL.
On AM 560 The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Opportunity Project, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
Pain drugs are addictive and have side effects. Get off the drugs, get rid of the pain. You don't need to live with chronic pain. Let's repeat, you do not have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, from an accident or pain that just develops. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the most respected and successful pain doctors in the world. Dr. Candido will work to find the source of your chronic pain and fix it. He teaches pain management around the world and has been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Okay, you get it. He's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido, Chicago anesthesia and pain specialist, will help you get off the pain medication and all of its side effects. You can get your life back. Drugs mask the pain, find the source, and fix it. Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain. You be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info at mypainchicago.com.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
7:07. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Inbound Edens Expressway traffic is stop and go. Cicero Junction, 26 minutes. Lykehook to Montrose, outbound 23. Kennedy, 48 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 23 from Montrose, 20 in the Express, outbound 36 minutes to O'Hare. Inbound Eisenhower, delays start at York, 55 minutes, 390 to downtown, 39 from Manheim, outbound 37 to 390. Down Stevenson jammed, Lamont Road to LaGrange Road. The exit to southbound LaGrange blocked with a vehicle fire. Hour and 5 minutes, 3:55 to drive. Outbound 44 minutes. Line is 32 minutes, 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State heavy from the Bishop Ford to Holstead with a crash. Southwest Highway, the 83rd Street toll. Pockets from the Reagan tollway to Balmoral. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Here's meteorologist Chris Morelli.
Today and tonight, considerable cloudiness with a shower in spots. High today 54, low tonight 43. Saturday, spotty drizzle in the morning, otherwise considerable cloudiness. High 53, rain and drizzle on Sunday, high 52. I'm Chris Morelli on AM 560, The Answer.
47 at O'Hare. Next news, 7:30. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Retirement Zone Radio and the North Shore Capital Group, empowering you Saturday mornings at 6 a.m.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy, and just restating and updating what we understand to be the case with the investigation into those bombs. Investigators determining that several of the suspicious packages that have been sent to Democrat Paul, CNN, De Niro's restaurant in Tribeca were handled by a U.S. Postal Service facility in Opa-locka, Florida, just north of Miami, and investigators are on site going through that facility to try and ascertain more evidence to identify the person or persons responsible.
And speaking with postal employees at that processing center who handled the pipe bombs, and thank goodness not one detonated at that postal processing center.
Investigators also confirming, at least I've seen several reports to this effect, that some of the pipe bombs that were delivered were not
intended to detonate.
Well, or maybe they were intended to, and they were poorly constructed. Who knows? But could not be detonated.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
So they would not have detonated. Obviously, that doesn't minimize the nature of the crime. It just perhaps provides more forensic evidence for investigators to focus their search, and so that's why some of these details are useful to understand. Also, there's this matter of the bomb that was sent to CNN being wrapped in this like internet meme with like a parody of an ISIS flag with the inscription "Get her done." And don't worry, I think Larry the Cable Guy has an alibi. But listen to Ben Collins at MSNBC reporting on this that aspect of what was found at CNN.
Yeah, it's just some guy, really. It's a guy in Scottsdale, Arizona who made a meme in 2014. It's been around like conservative like web forums, not like young people like 4chan stuff. I'm talking like, people who follow the Drudge Report and Fox News and stuff like that. It's that sort of circle. So that's what you're seeing right now. This is not a meme meant to, ascribe any sort of direct malice. It's not a real great clue, but it does show you what part of the ecosystem he at least drew this one image from.
Yeah. People who follow the Drudge Report, which I believe is the most trafficked website in the world, or watch Fox News, which is the number one cable news channel in the world. And that sort of reporting was hardly unique. John King on CNN yesterday.
No one's blaming the president. Is anyone blaming the president? But the president now wants to make this about him. Amen to the president for what he first said yesterday. Let's take a breath. Let's everybody tone it down. Mm-hmm. Let's just see where let the investigators do their job. We can all be better. But then it's our fault.
But then let me ratchet the rhetoric right back up. Here's the thing, though. In addition to that little comment at the end, but it's our fault, and now we're going to make it about us. While John King was saying to his panel, is anyone blaming the president? No one here is blaming the president. There was a chyron right underneath him.
Yeah, what did it say?
Trump has no plans to claim any personal responsibility for inciting serial bomber. I'm not blaming the president. This chyron is blaming the president right underneath me. All right, for more on this, we're pleased to be joined again by our friend Bret Baier, anchor of Fox News Special Report, weekdays 5 p.m. Chicago time, and the author of the book 3 Days in Moscow, Ronald Reagan, The Fall of the Soviet Empire. Bret, thanks for being with us.
Good morning.
Morning. So the reporting, we've narrowed it down to perhaps somebody who reads the Drudge Report or watches Fox News, but CNN doesn't want to, and other news outlets don't want to get into the business of pointing fingers or speculating.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable, really. It's I think everybody covering these things should do what we heard from leaders at the very beginning, is just take a breath, wait for the facts to come out, see where it goes. I think it's egregious to say that the printed out fake ISIS flag and the get her done thing comes from the corners of Fox News and Drudge Report. I mean, it's unbelievable, really. And that kind of thing, lends itself to this pushback on the other side that says, oh, yeah, this is all meant to blunt the momentum from Republicans, and all the conversation on that. How about this? We just wait to see what the FBI comes up with, and hopefully, they find someone. And luckily, none of these things went off. Now, we're being told that none of them actually were able to go off. That doesn't take away from the danger, and the reason the FBI says they're not treating them like hoaxes is because you don't want one to work. But the ones that they have seen so far, according to the experts we've talked to, were essentially inert.
And what do you think it means that, the spelling was wrong? He spelled Florida, Florids, and got spelled John Brennan's name wrong as well. What do you think that says about the person that might have done this?
I mean, it's all speculation. I mean, who knows? That could be part of the deal to throw people off. It could be just some, really out there guy or person. And, there's all kinds of speculation out there. It could be some outside force that's trying to just sow chaos. Russia does it on cyber. Could they do it by sending 10, pipe bomb-looking things through the mail? There's all kinds of speculation out there. What we do know is that investigators have a lot to go on now, actual physical evidence, and they're starting to zero in. And the fact that they're even talking about a post office in Florida suggests that they're a lot further than people think they are.
Yeah, I also this is a time to unify, calls for civility, and now CNN this morning is complaining about Trump's tweets after the reporting, from that was throughout CNN yesterday with those chyrons and so forth, against the backdrop of Jeff Zucker saying words matter in his statement chastising the president and Sarah Sanders. I guess my question is, all of this hand-wringing over civility and political discourse, wanting to ascribe responsibility for a very adversarial, contentious relationship between this politician in question, Trump, and the press. This has been around since, as I said earlier in the show, 1775. And perhaps it's been ratcheted up over the last couple of years, and perhaps there is a culpability to go around. But all of this political discourse is responsible for an attempted act of terrorism connection. I find very, very tenuous.
No, it's just so stupid. The whole thing is so stupid. Yes, has the environment changed under this president? Of course. Has the news cycle changed? Of course. Did everybody blame Bernie Sanders when the guy shot the Republican congressman including Steve Scalise, on the baseball diamond? No, they didn't. And it's the same kind of thing. I just think it's really difficult to listen to preaching and then watch a lower third Chiron say the president's inciting this bomber, or Trump targets. The other one was bomber targets or Trump targets or something. Meanwhile, they're talking about how no one should be blamed, and I don't know. It's just tough to watch.
Well,
I think all sides could take a breath.
Yeah, and the implication to the bomber targets, Trump targets, or whatever words to the effect what you're describing. The implication is that he's acting on with the tacit approval, if not instruction, from Trump, and this is from a media and a political party, Chris Hayes at MSNBC, and an incumbent Democrat congressman, Joaquin Castro, who both suggested that Trump and or Jared Kushner gave the order to the Saudis to assassinate Jamal Khashoggi.
I know. See, this stuff, once you go over the line, this is what happens. So it's a circle, okay? The president obviously stirs things up. The left's heads explode. They can't handle it. Then they go over the line and say stuff like that, and then the middle of the country goes, wait a second, what is that?
Yeah.
And then it's a vicious circle that we play every week.
Yep, yeah. And CNN taking the president to task for not calling President Clinton or President Obama to let them know what the latest is on the investigation. Do you think that he should be reaching out to them?
Well, listen, they're former presidents, and it's an exclusive club.
They've all got Secret Service. I'm sure they're getting briefed.
Other presidents may have done that. I don't know whether it's it's not my job to advise them, but I think that the first inclination of the president to call for unity was the right one, and the problem is that he's a counterpuncher. So when he sees the coverage go south, he has to counterpunch, and that's his deal. This one came in a 3 a.m. tweet, I guess, this morning.
I wanted to put a challenge to you, Brett Baer. I want you to perhaps you'll be the first one in the country to be able to accomplish this. Can you find a Democrat congressional incumbent or challenger in a competitive race or a potential 2020 presidential aspirant who will answer the question, should the caravan be allowed into the United States?
You know what? That is a question that is just, it's crickets chirping, and you ask all kinds of candidates about it, and it is, we should be humane, but no real solution, whether yes or no they should come in. And that's it's a big issue. It's not going to go away. I don't know. It's going to take them a long time to get to the border, unless they hop on these buses and the train. But it's an election issue, especially for those states along the southern border.
And lastly, we've got to ask you, my colleague here, Amy Jacobson, gave Megyn Kelly her start. Actually, Megyn Kelly interned for Amy. This is how old Amy is.
I'm not
she,
that old.
Interned for Amy when Amy was at NBC5.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, she was.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was an attorney, and she wanted to get into broadcasting and be a legal analyst. So she hung out with us for a few months and went on stories.
Wow.
And I'd get done with a story, then she would do it and,
Yeah.
put the packages together and get us, a reel together. So how do you?
Wow, who knew?
And then Amy is also thinking about opting out of her $70 million contract here.
So were you a little surprised?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of quick hits there. I mean, she lost her show, and now she's working on an exit package and wants Ronan Farrow to be present when they're discussing, how much money she should walk out the door with.
Yeah, I don't know about all the exit stuff and all that. I do feel for her, and I think that maybe they wanted her off of that show before that because it did go quick. But I do feel for him.
I do too.
Yeah, it always seemed like you had a good relationship with her when you guys were colleagues at Fox, right?
Oh, sure, yeah. We covered many elections together.
Right.
Election night 2016 was quite something.
Oh, yes. Who would forget that?
All right. He is Brett Baer, Fox News anchor. Special report, weekdays, 5 p.m. Chicago time. The book, 3 Days in Moscow, Ronald Reagan, The Fall of the Soviet Empire. Brett, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
All right, we'll see you guys.
See you.
Have a good weekend. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
Hey guys, Ken here from the hit podcast Today's Growth. Who would win a 3-mile bicycle race, an 11-year-old girl or last year's winner of the Tour de France? It all depends on the bicycle. It depends on their vehicle. Both on a 10-speed and the pro racer is going to win every time. But put the racer on a tricycle and the 11-year-old wins every time. You see, it's not the driver, it's the vehicle. When it comes to generating revenue, it's exactly the same. If you have a job or a small business, you are riding a tricycle. You can only go so fast. If you need to make up lost ground, it's not going to happen on a tricycle. No matter how fast you pedal, it's simply not going to win the race. Why do many people with no schooling and no advanced degree often become very wealthy? Simple. They choose to only ride 10 speeds. When it comes to helping people create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss when it comes to putting people on a 10-speed. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
For years, St. John's Northwestern Military Academy has served young men with an outstanding education and preparation for life. And now, as you know, the same experience is available for your daughter. St. John is an excellent co-ed environment. It's not a school for troubled kids. People come from all over the country, from all over the world. And their goal is to prepare cadets for success in life by instilling in them a solid work ethic, responsibility, and understanding of the value of integrity and teamwork, and the ability to think critically, communicate well, and function in a diverse and ever-changing world. They've been around since 1884, folks, and the school has been developing the minds and shaping the character of young men from around the country and the world, many of whom who have gone on to achieve great success. Their alumni include heads of state, key business leaders, professional athletes, accomplished artists, statesmen and politicians, and a variety of others who have made important contributions to a broad spectrum of society. To get more information, to maybe schedule a tour, call 1-800-SJ-CONNECT. Cadet. That's 1-800-SJ-Cadet. Or visit their website to get more information, have any questions you have answered, and to schedule that free tour. For the website, go to sjnma.org. That's sjnma.org.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I'm definitely feeling better because now that I'm feeling better, I have more energy to be able to do more things. Before I couldn't, I was in severe pain with my back and I I really couldn't function without taking an ibuprofen. And I haven't had to do that.
The first day energy level was up by about 30%. Stamina was probably up 40%. Alertness was probably 20-25%. Afternoons, I'd get groggy, doggy. Just in 2 days, that is gone.
For a limited time, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies and have them shipped to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Nothing speaks louder about an auto dealer than a happy customer. And at Joe Cotton Ford, they have many.
I had a 2001 Excursion, was about 6 months old. We got T-boned, $29,000 worth of damage, bent the frame. After a few months, got it back from you guys, and it actually drove and rode better than when I got it from the factory. Well, service visits are always top-notch. You know, your service department, starting with Dave and going down all your service riders, are just amazing.
Another reason why folks keep coming back to Joe Cotton Ford. This month is Truck Month at Joe Cotton Ford, where you can save thousands on your favorite trucks and SUVs. Now's the time to get into a new 2018 Ford F-150. Once again, chosen as Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Joe Cotton Ford has hundreds in stock ready for delivery. No hype and no pressure. It's why generations of customers keep coming back to Joe Cotton Ford. Get to Joe Cotton Ford today and save big during Truck Month. Gary and North Avenue in Carroll Stream or at joecottonford.com. joecottonford.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Trying to do more feel-good, uplifting stories on this show. Just mix things up because we're so necessarily focused on politics and the news, which is often dreary, but nevertheless interesting.
Yeah.
And you've come along a feel-good story, Amy.
Yes, it's about kids at a middle school in Tennessee. I'm sure many of you have seen this and have heard it. And Dan, if you don't cry at this story, you just don't have a heart then, okay? Mm-hmm. It was a kid's sweet surprise that brought a janitor to tears. James Anthony has been there since 1996. He's deaf, and he was called to the kindergarten room, and he thought he had to clean up another mess. Like, oh, okay, what did they do now? But when he walked in the room, they had a very sweet surprise for this very sweet man.
I was very shocked. I was coming thinking I had another mess to clean up.
And the kids were all together and were singing Happy Birthday.
When Mr. James came in here, we did it all together. I felt really good when I did that because he was so happy.
Oh, and it was so they were signing Happy Birthday to you and singing it.
We were all in tears because it was just amazing when they were so excited.
And he...
Love that accent.
I know, isn't it great?
It's been a moving experience. Seeing that class, wow, it just shows me that I'm pretty important here.
Oh, he said that. It just shows me that I'm pretty important here. And that's so sweet because it is a hard job being a janitor. And he's around these kids, and these kids love him because then afterwards, they each came up, they got in a line, and gave him a birthday hug. And it was so sweet.
And then after that, little Jimmy...
Wet his pants.
Threw up and, hey, clean that up. Yeah, that's what the janitors used to hearing.
Did you know your janitor at your high school?
Grade school.
Yeah,
Reuben.
Reuben
See? At St. Mike's.
At Hersey, it was
he was
Eddie.
great.
Everybody loved Eddie. And your janitors, I mean, you see them sometimes more than your parents when you're in high school or middle school because you're around them all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yours was Reuben?
Reuben
That's
at St. Mike's
cool
in
name.
Wheaton was a good dude. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I hope Reuben's doing well, and I hope
It's
Eddie.
nice that kindergarten class took out the time to recognize the janitor. That's good. I like that. That's a good story.
Yeah, you have to see the video. Then you'll cry. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
All right, we'll return to what we know about the bombings or the bombs that were delivered, as well as the coverage and politics of it, how the left is trying to score points with 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks, 10 days now to go before the midterms at 7:37.
And how you going to get a chance to see Peyton play football tonight in Wheaton?
Oh, yeah, Peyton is playing.
Peyton, Amundsen High School is playing St. Francis in Wheaton tonight at 7 o'clock.
Oh, my God, they're going to get killed.
I'm sorry, what did you just say? What did you say?
I just said take St. Francis and lay the points.
All right, we'll talk about it.
And stop by Wheaton Meat on the way because you'll need the sustenance.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wheaton Meat
Oh,
Company.
yeah, that's right. I can wear my Wheaton Meat Company
You should wear it.
sweatshirt
You should
tonight.
wear it so you know.
I can get some street cred in the hood of DuPage County. Yo.
You'll be treated better by the Wheatonites. Wheatonians? What do we
Do
call
they have
ourselves?
any
I don't know.
idea what's coming to
I
Wheaton
don't know.
tonight?
Wheatonians. It sounds more regal. Yeah, you'd be treated better if you wear that pullover.
Okay. Amundsen St. Francis tonight at 7 o'clock in Wheaton. Now let's get into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Gray skies this morning and 47 degrees. President Trump, according to the White House this morning, just might block about all immigrants seeking asylum at the U.S.-Mexico border. There are reports the administration is working on an executive action that would make it extremely difficult for migrants from Central America to get into the U.S. 3 administration sources telling the San Francisco Chronicle details may be finalized by next week, and the president will outline them in a major speech on immigration. Investigators say the manhunt for whoever sent mail bombs is now focusing on South Florida. Miami-Dade police, FBI, and Homeland Security are looking for clues at a U.S. postal facility near Miami. Los Angeles area Congresswoman Maxine Waters says she's not scared. A possible explosive device was sent to her D.C. office and another flagged at a mail facility in L.A.
We should not crawl under the bed, close the doors, not go out, be afraid to go to rallies, whatever. We have to keep doing what we're doing in order to make this country right.
Waters and several other high-profile critics of President Trump received suspicious packages this week. Americans appear to be highly motivated to vote in the midterm elections. Less than 2 weeks to go until the November 6th election day. 8 million Americans have already cast their ballots in early and absentee voting. That number exceeds the 2016 presidential year. Authorities continue searching for a Madison man wanted for the murder of a popular Chicago area barber in front of his 5-year-old daughter. Police have put out an arrest warrant for Perry Gosa, accused of shooting Mike Carney this past Sunday at a gas station in Harvey. No one in custody after the owner of 2 restaurants in Lake in the Hills was shot to death in Chicago. Peter Rim was riding in a vehicle when an SUV rolled up behind and shot him in the 4100 block of West Diversey Avenue. Rim owned neighboring restaurants in Lake in the Hills, Bistro Wasabi and El Cucino. In a surprise move, the Illinois Education Association is backing a Southern Illinois Republican congressman. Small number of local teachers there say they will not. About 30 teachers have signed a letter insisting they will not vote for Congressman Mike Bost. The IEA endorsed him earlier this week, and the president will be in Southern Illinois supporting his run for Congress this weekend. Blackhawks close out their 3-game homestand tomorrow with a 4-1 win against the Rangers at the UC. Taves, 14, Kane, and DeBrincat with goals. They skate in St. Louis tomorrow. Bulls on the road tonight to take on the Hornets for the second time in 3 nights. Illinois football takes on Maryland tomorrow in College Park, while our Northern Illinois Huskies take on BYU tomorrow on AM 560. The news service of Compassion International. You can't change the whole world, but you can be part of the change in the world for a child living in poverty by becoming a Compassion International child sponsor. Compassion.com/radio, compassion.com/radio. 7:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager believes the left has no limits.
Those who are kind to the cruel will be cruel to the kind. That is a motto of our dear fellow citizens of the left, because that's all it takes is a favorable word, a mere vote for for Republican and you're pro-rape. You understand how sick it has become? There are no moral limits to what they will do or say.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Radical protests storm Washington. Far left extremists demanding their way or the highway.
And you don't give power to an angry left-wing mob.
Standing with them, Senator Joe Donnelly. Donnelly says he's one of us, yet time after time he stands with them. Voting against Brett Kavanaugh to be on the Supreme Court. Voting against President Trump's historic tax cuts. And Donnelly claims to be full of common sense. But he voted for the reckless nuclear deal with Iran that makes us less safe. Senator Donnelly, he just isn't who he says he is. Mike Braun is a political outsider, job creator, and doer. Mike Braun's one of us. He'll help President Trump make the tax cuts permanent, and he'll vote to confirm conservative judges like Brett Kavanaugh. On Election Day, stand with Mike Braun for Senate.
I'm Mike Braun, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Mike Braun for Indiana.
Want your home's furnace to stay safe and reliable? And want to prevent any potential problems before they happen? At your local 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning, we recommend an annual furnace inspection and tune-up. Right now, get a $79 furnace tune-up. Call 855-1-HOUR. Because not taking care of your furnace, that's just cold.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1 Hour.
Terms and conditions may apply. Call for details. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
Do you have symptoms of a cold, such as a runny nose, scratchy throat, or coughing within the last 40 hours? You may be eligible to participate in a clinical trial. Evanston Premier Healthcare Research is seeking participants to test the effectiveness of an investigational medication for the common cold. Act fast and call Evanston Premier Healthcare Research at 847-869-1191 or visit VanguardColdStudy.com to participate. If you're at least 12 years old and have had cold symptoms for less than 40 hours, you may qualify for this study. Call Evanston Premier Healthcare Research at 847-869-1191 to learn more.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, a family tradition since 1897.
It is 7:37 and a check on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
On southbound 53 this morning, we're seeing roadwork delays from Kirchhoff to Higgins. On the Veterans Memorial Tollway, the delays are northbound 75th to Butterfield and from the Army Trail Toll to 290. Tri-State northbound delays start on westbound 8094 towards, continue up to near Holstead where there's a crash. And it's heavy southwest highway to the Stevenson after a medical emergency, and from the Reagan Tollway most of the way to Balmoral. The Adams and Reagan Tollways are okay. Edens, 19 minutes, Lake Hook to Montrose. Kennedy, 36 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 22 from Montrose, 16 in the Express. Eisenhower, 50 minutes, 390 to downtown. 33 from Manheim. Stevenson, an hour and 2 minutes, 355 to the drive. Ryan, 32 minutes, 95th to downtown. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte. From the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center, considerable cloudiness, shower and spots, high 54. 47 right now. Next news coming up at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by In the Know with Wealth Management Group, hosted by Craig Bolanos. Heard Sunday mornings at 10.
You want more than just the headlines? Find out what's going on and what it means with me, Dennis Prager, this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
You may, I know you've got this playoff game tonight, right?
I got to coach 3 volleyball games and then go to this playoff game.
So Peyton is playing for the Allman Brothers High School.
It's called Amundsen Vikings.
And they're going to get dismantled by St. Francis and Wheaton.
I don't even know what their record is.
St. Francis and Wheaton 7-2.
They're 7-2. Ooh.
Yeah. They play
Can your
tougher.
dad come to the game?
He's got 5 6 years.
I think your dad should come with his cat.
I think you should. You probably have better things to do. After, when they're down like 35-0 in the first quarter.
Yeah.
You can skip across town, Wheaton, Warrenville South versus Belleville.
Oh.
That's Wheaton, Warrenville South, the perennial powerhouse. And Jeannie Ives wants us to know to watch number 11, which is her son, who's got like 7 picks in 9 games.
Really?
It's a lot of interceptions at that level.
Fine.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jeannie.
So you can go over to Wheaton Warrenville South and watch
a real football? Is that
well,
what? That's what I'm hearing you say. Without
higher
you saying
caliber
it.
football.
Oh, okay.
Well, in St. Francis, I mean, the teams that the Allman Brothers High School plays versus the team St. Francis plays in the suburbs,
probably a little different.
It's going to be a lopsided affair.
All right. So what do you predict? What do you think the score is going to be? Give it to me, Dan. What do you think? Come on.
49-10.
49-10. Okay.
All right. Mark it down.
All right. Well, we only do 2-point conversions. We don't have a kicker.
Oh, okay. 49-6.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So speaking of things coming to an end, the Allman Brothers football season, and Megyn Kelly's career coming to an end. Are you sad to hear of the news that Megyn Kelly's show on NBC is no more, at least not with her? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line, and now she's going full litigant. She's also lost her representation.
Yes, so she has a brand new agent.
Does she? She was looking around. She
well,
couldn't find one.
Oh, see, the whole thing was yesterday we said that she dropped her agent. The agency originally reported that they had dropped her.
Well, whatever. Who broke up with who?
Yeah, exactly. But she wants Rowan Farrow in her exit meeting today when they're figuring out, because she's supposed to get and sign a guaranteed contract for $69 million. All right, so she was making $20 million a year. She's worked there for 14 months. Bottom line is she's owed $69 million, which is a lot of money for that show. But that's a deal that they signed, and she wants him there on the way out, and I cannot. Why does she want Rowan Farrow there?
And Ronan Farrow's attorney. I think, there's I think there's a gender discrimination play she might be making to try and ensure that she gets paid out on her contract, because I'm sure NBC
they're going to
will be looking for out clauses that would provide them an opportunity to not not have to pay the entirety of the contract of the $69 million or whatever. I mean, so shooting star Megyn Kelly, a grab for the brass ring, and now she's fallen back to earth, hasn't she?
Well, she said that she was sick of covering politics because she described herself as not a political person when she was on Fox. So then she goes into the lion's den of the mainstream media, of the Today Show, the morning show circuit, which is more about celebrities and the upcoming movie and the hottest song and the hottest band. And she got eaten alive. I mean, it started with her, Jane Fonda was on, and she had asked her about her plastic surgery. And then from then, a lot of people pulled out of her show, which was goofy.
Well, she wanted to be one of those people.
Right, she did. Yep.
She wanted to be a celebrity. She wanted to be a celebrity. She wanted to be Kelly Ripa or Michael Strahan or Ryan Seacrest, any of those ladies. That's who she wanted to be.
And then there's also, she also was a little edgy. She was provocative. She did a half-hour show numerous times about Matt Lauer and his sexcapades and allegations against him. She did a show about Tom Brokaw, which was shunned upon. They did not want her to do that. But she took the Me Too moment by the horns and did several shows with alleged people, alleged victims of Harvey Weinstein.
Too bad she won't be around for one more show. She could do one of those episodes, those Me Too episodes on Google. Did you see that story? Google gave Andy Rubin, the creator of the Android mobile software, $90 million buyout package, paid in installments of $2 million a month for 4 years to extract themselves from allegations of sexual misconduct against one Andy Rubin. Google protected a number of individuals accused of sexual misconduct inside the company with big payouts. Oh, your lefty friends there at Google, Sergey and Larry and Sundar and all the boys and girls that were weeping after President Trump's election and are otherwise in the tank, as we're increasingly learning to be the case for the left. They got a Me Too problem there at Google, too. At 2 on Me Too, Sergey and Larry. So, but anyway, so just a quick tangent. But so Megyn Kelly's departure, crocodile tears, or do you think Megyn Kelly has been wrongly treated in some substantive manner?
I do. I mean, even people within, this is according to, Daily Mail, an NBC executive said, Megyn Kelly's done and she is not ever coming back. We are just working out timing of the announcement, but mark my word, she is gone and will never be seen on NBC again.
Well, I
the source then added that
so
here's the worst part. Her deal is a non-break deal, so she walks away with all the money. It's disgusting, and heads should roll here because of it. So there's a lot of infighting, I think, at NBC, and I think that there's jealousy because she was the highest paid TV personality.
I'm sure all that's true.
NBC.
That none of that is my question. My question is, do you think genuinely, on the merits, Megyn Kelly was mistreated, or is it just crocodile tears for somebody who wanted to become a celebutante and got cannibalized by those that are similarly inclined?
I think she deserves to be on another network.
Why?
I think because she's a solid journalist and she has an opinion. And I think she's smart and she's easy on the eyes.
Oh,
I mean, she made...
So misogynistic.
Well, I know it is very
I
misogynistic.
can't believe that. I won't
Are you going to
tolerate
write
that
me
here.
up or am I going to write myself up?
It's disgusting. I'm tired of you judging women solely on their appearance. It's so wrong.
312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line. 64636. Type in DA in a quick comment.
Frank in Villa Park, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, and no stretch of the mean a Megyn Kelly fan, but what they did to her was they weaponized racism. I mean, if you actually read exactly what she said about white people dressing up in blackface and black people dressing up in whiteface. There's nothing racist there. She didn't deserve to have this happen to her, and I think it's a shame that they weaponized racism. It's a very slippery slope.
Yeah. I thought her apology was heartfelt. She was crying. Clearly, she'd been up for, I think, the night before crying, too, because she just looked really distraught. And she just didn't know the history of blackface. It was a mistake. I wouldn't have touched that topic in a million years anyway, but she decided to be provocative. And then, so she had this tearful apology, and then she had two African-Americans on with her, sitting at a table having a panel discussion about blackface.
Can I ask maybe another question? Do you actually care about Megyn Kelly, or do you just care about this story because you think she's been treated unfairly? Because those are different things. I mean, do you actually care about these people on TV like Megyn Kelly?
Well, I do because I know her. I mean,
okay. All right.
And I think
fair.
she's a good person, and she had passion for what she did. I thought she was good at her job because she didn't just lose her job, you guys. I think her career is over. I don't think Fox is going to take her back.
Soft landing.
ABC said absolutely not. They're not going to touch her. They said she's toxic. Where have we heard that before? We don't want her here on our network. But the difference,
About you?
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You're
toxic.
Are you still toxic?
I don't know. Am I toxic?
I don't know.
I'd like to know.
I'd like to know these things. Gosh, I don't want my career.
But the difference between her and I is that she has money, and I didn't have any money.
Didn't get a $70 million bond.
No, I didn't.
No. But I mean, I so you know her personally, so it's a little bit different. But I
Right,
mean, just generally speaking, and even for people that you sort of like in terms of the job they do. I mean, I could see that. Like, I like this person because they do a valuable job. But if they don't, and or they do something that's sort of tasteless or ignorant, I mean, do you really care? And she gets $70 million on the back end. I mean, is that something that sort of should receive much mind share? I mean, I honestly, I just don't care.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way,
Yeah.
I don't think she was mistreated in this case. I
Okay.
do not.
Right. Can we take Mike in Big Rock?
No.
Aw.
Rick in Downers Grove.
Oh, I hope Rick's not
Rick.
there. Don't be there.
Hello?
Yeah, Rick, you're here. There you go. All right, go ahead.
Oh, hey, yeah, I really don't care too much, one way or the other about these people. The only thing is, when the dust settles, she's got $70 million, and I think that's going to make everything okay.
Yeah,
I know
well, it helps.
You could call me toxic all day long, and if I got $70 million, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for calling.
But money is
You could
not
call
gonna.
me.
I mean,
You could call me toxic all day long because I wouldn't hear you because I'd be on the island I bought. Well said, Rick. Mike in Big Rock by request.
thank you. Hi, Mike.
Hi, guys. Hi, Dan, Amy. You know what I wanted to say? Looking at her career, I would say she was a person who was feisty for truth and justice. That was her brand with a conservative bent. And when it came to that debate with Trump and that question that she asked him, it was a question that was loaded. It was a question that omitted all the facts, and people got mad and upset with her. It's like she left the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to try to corner somebody. And when she went to NBC, what she did, I think, was she had to rebrand herself in a liberal organization, and it's not really who she was. And I think under her skin there was so many conflicts. So I think she did this to herself.
All right.
Well, she and also too. I mean, there was talk that they were going to end the show anyway because the ratings were just horrible. And Tamara Hall and Al Roker's show got twice as much ratings as her show did. So when she took over in that time slot, the ratings fell. And then, there's a lot of vacillation. So she wanted to interview the celebrity stars, in the Hollywood types, but then she missed politics, and there was talk of her going back and covering the midterms and the presidential race. But that's not going to happen now.
I now know what you must feel like when I talk about like macroeconomic policy. I think I.
Do you get it?
I think I lost. I can't even pinpoint exactly where I fell asleep during that dissertation on what was going on with Megyn Kelly at NBC5.
Boring.
I feel like I blacked out.
Are you okay? Are you coming to now? Do you need some smelling salt?
Sort of.
Are you okay?
I mean,
people care about Megyn Kelly. They do.
Well, I that's why I asked the question. Yeah. I don't, so I'm interested in
people who do.
An explanation from those who don't know her like you do.
She held my umbrella once.
Name dropper.
I am such a name dropper.
Megan on the South Side.
Good morning, guys. I have to say, Amy, I'm sorry for what's happening to your friend. It seems like it is important to you, but to me, it seems like she's not, she did do it to herself. When she was on Fox, she decided to make it about herself rather than about the news. And that was supposed to get her this big influence on a, liberal network. And she didn't cut the mustard. So now she wants Ronan Farrow to sit in because she's going to turn this, like she tried to do to Roger Ailes, into something about her.
No,
and
Roger
Me
Ailes
Too.
was a scumbag. Sorry.
Well, either way, she's going to try to make this a Me Too moment. And I'll tell you what, at this point, if I was her husband, I wouldn't be alone in a room with her because she's going to say,
wait till they cash the check.
Sexual harassment.
Wait till she cashes the check, Mr. Kelly.
Yeah.
Thanks for the call, Megan.
Oh, honey,
Appreciate
did you sign that prenup?
No,
I'm just kidding.
So
no, she's
no, but the point is, whether Roger Ailes was a scumbag or not, it's when she chooses to play the victim.
But also, there was some non-disclosure forms too that had to be signed. So,
Amy and Huntley.
Hey, I just wanted to agree with that previous caller who said the very first debate for the Republican primary, when Megyn Kelly went right for Trump's jugular, that very first question, I thought she's done. And then it's just a matter of time before she was just completely done. Her career was over. Because I thought that was completely uncalled for. And to me, she was just a mean girl.
Well, thanks for
and a meanie.
Thanks for calling me. And the way she, I think the topic area is legitimate, but the way she approached that question was smacked to me of, this is my moment. I'm going to show everybody I'm not some Fox toady. Although it's a Republican debate, but anyway, I'm going to show people in the DC press corps that I so want to be a part of that I can ask the tough questions in the moment. I think that was her this is going to be my coming out.
Well, because it was tweets that he had said about Rosie O'Donnell, so she brought all that up, but then look where it took President Trump. People fell in love with him after that.
Well, he was on the ascent before that. Brian and Lombard. Brian Lombard is gone. Verlon on the South Side.
Okay, some people heard me talk on your show yesterday, and they couldn't believe I said what I said.
I couldn't believe it.
Okay, so because they bought into the Don Lemon theory of anybody our age, me, you, Megyn Kelly, him, and Cuomo, it was never acceptable from 47 on down. Blackface was never acceptable. I'm calling Don Lemon out. Don Lemon, you're a liar. Because if anybody grew up looking at Tom and Jerry or Bugs Bunny, it was 3 episodes I can remember on Tom and Jerry where they did blackface when the bomb blew up in Tom's face and you seen the big pink lips and the eyes and he said, "Mammy." And then there was another one when Jerry was the hypnotist and he had him on stage doing about 3 different characters of black people. And Bugs Bunny played a slave with blackface. And let's bring it back to reality. Flip Wilson did blackface. And that goes back to when I said if he or she is funny, it's funny.
Yeah,
so we need to move past this pettiness.
Well,
it's petty.
Right, and Daily Wire has a story about Jimmy Kimmel. They recall Jimmy Kimmel doing blackface. He impersonated Karl Malone when he was doing the Man Show, which, by the way, the Man Show, Jimmy Kimmel doing the Man Show alone would have disqualified him if he wasn't a liberal sycophant. But he did Karl Malone from the Utah Jazz, and he did it in full, blackface for the Man Show. Agreed, but so I agree that there's hypocrisy afoot here, as there always is, it seems. But it doesn't really excuse Megyn Kelly's ignorance.
But I know.
Black people putting on white face, white people putting on blackface, that's not the same thing. It doesn't have the same historical touchstone. And it's just, she was ignorant. She was, and her comments were dumb. There's just no defense to it. I don't know.
But and her apology wasn't enough?
I mean, her apology was just overwrought for me. And it was the whole, I don't know. It's the sort of apology that comes across as something that was carefully crafted by PR flacks to, hit all the right, make all the right statements, but there's no feeling. It's like you're reciting the words, but you can't hear the music. That's how her apology felt to me.
I think you have to see her make the apology rather than just listen to her, because she really was, I don't know, it felt heartfelt to me.
She was reading it.
Well, yeah, on a teleprompter, but she wrote it.
Right.
Maybe. Well, maybe somebody edited.
Yeah, but think through what I'm saying.
Okay.
She was reading her apology. I know she wrote it. But, to apologize for something like this, you shouldn't need to have your words scripted, even by yourself. It's a simple, heartfelt statement that you offer, a recognition of your own ignorance. And she really didn't do that. She does this whole, I'm not a PC person. And so it was, sort of kind of trying to rehabilitate herself. Just own being ignorant of this thing. And that's why I said the dumb things that I said. And, and so for that, I apologize straight away. I own it, and, come what may, factor that in terms of your view of me, however you see fit. All I can do is apologize and give you the context for why I said the stupid thing I said.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
I'm Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for Upstream-Ideas.com. First, they came for the man-sized Kleenex tissue. It won't be long before they come for the man-witch, and then the Sloppy Joe entirely. We don't like this, but we can't stop it. Why? 80% of Americans oppose so-called political correctness, according to British researchers. Racial minorities dislike it more than whites. The young don't like it any better than the old. With such overwhelming opposition, how does it persist? Because people have assented to things they know to be untrue. Complicity in the lies eliminates resistance. The supermajority's abdication leaves a power vacuum a band of little white liars is happy to fill. As the British psychiatrist Theodore Dalrymple noted in comparing political correctness to communist propaganda, to assent to obvious lies is to cooperate with evil, and in some small way to become evil oneself. Once standing to resist anything is thus eroded and even destroyed. A society of emasculated liars is easy to control. Therein lies the purpose of political correctness. Control. Therein lies the solution. Don't be an emasculated liar. Stand up for what you know to be true. or prepare to live life forever on your knees.
Highland Park Ford Lincoln's in the house. Here's Alan Marty.
We're back on the radio and getting bigger than ever.
We're the #1 Lincoln dealer in town.
And Chicagoland's first ever Ford Lincoln Superstore, too.
Folks like our great deals, for sure.
Just yesterday, I got attacked by the paparazzi.
Really?
But I think the groupies are the worst.
Groupies?
All the Highland Park groupies we have.
Sure. Right, Al.
The Highland Park Ford Lincoln Superstore. Call 1-800-984-9000 or go to alanmarty.com.
Well, I have groupies.
A rich fantasy life is important.
This is Al and Marty. Deal with us.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Rich, poor, Republican, Democrat, we're all the same when it comes to property taxes.
We're not going to be living in Illinois anymore, and it's due to the property taxes.
Go to SaveYourHomeNow.org. You stay. The politicians go. Liberty Principles paid for this act and is solely responsible for its content.
What's happening? What does it mean? Why is it important? We've got the answer. AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago.
This is a Fox News alert. An 11th package has turned up. This one in Florida. I'm Dave Anthony. And it was also sent to a Democrat, Senator Cory Booker. Intercepted again in Florida, looking similar to the 10 other ones that had bomb-like devices inside the envelopes. And Fox News has learned there's another suspicious package being looked at a post office in New York City.
Do not touch, do not move, do not handle any suspicious or unknown package.
That's FBI Assistant Director William Sweeney. And again, the first 10 and the 11th, all looking the same. The FBI focused on one postal facility near Miami. Fox's Rachel Sutherland has more live from Washington.
Dave, Miami-Dade police have been assisting the FBI at a sprawling mail sorting facility in Opa-locka. Authorities believe some of the packages intended for prominent Democrats passed through that location, which is the size of several football fields. New York Police Commissioner James O'Neill is confident they'll solve this mystery.
I can say with certainty that we will identify and arrest a person or people responsible for these acts.
Officials are reviewing surveillance video taken at the postal facility and at businesses nearby. Dave.
Rachel, Russia's president could be coming to Washington. National Security Advisor John Bolton said today Vladimir Putin's been invited after the new year.
What the scheduling of that is, we don't quite know yet.
And Bolton this week had talks with Putin about Russia violating a Soviet-era nuclear arms treaty President Trump intends to pull out of. Moscow denies the violations and says withdrawing would be dangerous. We just got an update on the economy, showing 3.5% GDP growth over the summer, boosted by the most consumer spending in nearly 4 years. The growth is slightly less than the 4.2% in the spring, but still, it is the biggest economic growth in consecutive quarters since 2014. But on Wall Street, stocks could sell off. Dow futures are down big, coming off yesterday's rebound for an even larger drop the day before. This is Fox News.
Cloudy skies, 47 degrees. It is 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. No one in custody after the owner of 2 restaurants in Lake in the Hills was shot to death in Chicago. Peter Rim was riding in a vehicle early yesterday morning in the 4100 block of West Diversey Avenue when someone in an SUV rolled up and shot him. Rim owned 2 neighboring restaurants in Lake in the Hills, Bistro Wasabi and El Cucino. Authorities are searching for a Matson man wanted for murdering a popular Chicago area barber. Police have put out an arrest warrant for Perry Gosa, accused of shooting Mike Carney to death. Gosa was the ex-boyfriend of the victim's girlfriend. A former priest at a Ukrainian Orthodox church in Chicago is accused of swindling an elderly parishioner who survived a Nazi death camp out of more than $300,000. Nicholas Cherviadyuk faces charges of theft and financial exploitation of an elderly person with a disability. Cherviadyuk formerly led the Holy Patronage Church, where 96-year-old Nellie Bridgman attended services. Candidate for mayor of Chicago, Bill Daley, is calling for term limits for the mayor's office. While announcing his ethics platform yesterday, Daley said he would push for a limit of 2 4-year terms. Chicago sports, Blackhawks beat the Rangers 4-1. Taves, 14, Kane, and DeBrincat lit the lamp. They're in St. Louis tomorrow. Bulls on the road tonight to take on the Hornets for the second time in 3 nights. Fighting Illini football tomorrow, ready to face Maryland in College Park, while the Huskies of NIU take on BYU here on AM 560 tomorrow. Bears and Jets on Sunday. It's 8:03, time for the AM 560 Business Beat. From the Fox Business Network, here's Jenny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, both Amazon and Google's parent company Alphabet are shaking up investors with mixed earnings reports. Though both companies reported strong summer quarters, there's concern about sales at both. Futures are pointing to a sell-off at the Wall Street Open. Mattel is again the world's top toy company. Mattel makes Barbie, Hot Wheels, and many other toys. It made a profit in the summer quarter after losing money a year ago. Though the company saw weaker demand for its toys in China and Europe, Barbie sales rose 14% worldwide. The McRib is coming back. USA Today says the popular boneless pork sandwich has returned to more than 9,000 U.S. restaurants. The last time it appeared at McDonald's was last November. The Dow gained 401 points yesterday. The Nasdaq was up 209 and the S&P gained 49. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Ginny Cosola.
8:04, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Don't miss Freedom Summit 2018 on Saturday, October 27th. Presented by Geiger Wealth Management, Chicago's retirement planning experts. This year, featuring headline speakers, former Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clark and James O'Keefe from Project Veritas. Also appearing, AM 560's Mike Gallagher, Dan Proft, Amy Jacobson, and Joe Walsh. Get your tickets today at freedomsummitchicago.com. That's freedomsummitchicago.com. Sponsored in part by Precision Payroll of America and by Joe Cotton Ford in Carroll Stream.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I had cancer. I have fibromyalgia. I have nerve damage and fatigue. I have thalassemia. I'm hypoglycemic. So my life since cancer, I've had to learn how to live with it. But starting Balance of Nature, I felt it the first month. I felt different. It made such a difference that now I wake up, my head feels clearer, I have more energy. Very rarely does my body cramp up anymore. It's the best thing. It's just amazing. I don't know what to say. I just would not be what I am today if I didn't start Balance of Nature.
For a limited time, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies and have them shipped to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
The following is a paid political announcement.
So, we keep learning more about Joe Donnelly's outsourcing family business and about Donnelly's attempts to deceive us. We already knew Donnelly's family business outsourced jobs to Mexico. Mexican workers were paid just $3 an hour, while Donnelly pocketed tens of thousands. Then Donnelly claimed,
I haven't worked there in over 20 years.
But Donnelly's own financial disclosures reveal he profited from the business just 2 years ago. Now, newspapers report Donnelly's family business didn't only outsource jobs to Mexico, it also imported products from China. 120,000 pounds of Chinese shipments, outsourcing to Mexico, importing from China, and Donnelly trying to deceive Hoosiers. Joe Donnelly, hypocritical, dishonest politician. It's time to fire dishonest Donnelly. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
To experience relief from muscle cramps in your legs and feet, use TheraWorks Relief. This non-greasy foam is proven to relieve muscle cramps fast and reduce muscle soreness. TheraWorks Relief can also prevent muscle cramps before they start, so you can get a full night's sleep without having to worry about muscle cramps. TheraWorks Relief only takes minutes to apply, absorbs quickly, and it works. TheraWorks Relief is a life-changing product, and you don't even need a prescription. Get TheraWorks Relief today in the pain relief aisle at Walmart, CVS, Rite Aid, and Walgreens pharmacies, or TheraWorksRelief.com.
There's nothing small about your business. Your passion, your hours, your reputation, it's all huge. Your partnerships, even bigger. With Dell Small Business Technology Advisors, you'll get the tech, advice, and one-on-one partnership to help your business grow. Because with reliable Dell PCs with Intel Core processors, you can focus on what matters most, getting business done. Call 877-BUY-DELL to speak with an advisor today. That's 877-BUY-DELL.
It's 8:08, and a check on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Telemonti.
The inbound Kennedy Expressway is remarkably light right now. There was a crash at Lawrence. Traffic's a little bit heavy there. And then from Irving Park to the Burns Circle, the travel time is 30 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 20 from Montrose, same in the Express. Outbound 34 minutes downtown to O'Hare. Eden's 19 minutes Lake Cook to the Junction. Outbound 29. Inbound Eisenhower, slow St. Charles to the Tri-State, then Mannheim to the Circle. 52 minutes, 390 to downtown. 38 from Mannheim. Outbound 41 to 390. Inbound Stevenson, 50 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 42. On Ryan, 36 minutes, 95 to downtown. Northbound Tri-State, bottled up Harlem to 31st. And from the Reagan Tollway most of the way to Balmoral. Veterans Memorial, 75th to Butterfield. Army Trail to 290. It's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center and meteorologist Chris Morelli.
Today and tonight, considerable cloudiness with a shower in spots. High today 54, low tonight 43. Saturday, spotty drizzle early in the morning. Otherwise, considerable cloudiness. High 53. Rain and drizzle on Sunday, high 52. I'm Chris Morelli on AM 560, The Answer.
47 at O'Hare. Next news, 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Make sure to check out the Income Store live video stream of today's show right now at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Some breaking news. Two more packages found at what post offices, one in Florida, one in New York, one addressed to Booker, one addressed to Clapper.
Yep, the facility in Florida discovered the suspicious package less than a half hour ago, and it was addressed to Senator Cory Booker, and the other one in a Manhattan post office, and that was addressed to James Clapper.
Well, it's good that they're catching these packages at the postal office level, that they've obviously got a profile on the packages being sent. That I think the reporting is that there's similar packages.
Similar packaging, and they're treating them all as suspected explosive devices. So that means, the robot moves in and takes possession of the explosive device or alleged explosive device, and they do their testing, and then they're all being sent to Quantico, Virginia, to the FBI crime lab.
Right, which makes sense. And then we talked to Brett Baer at the top of the 7 o'clock hour, saying that as far as he understands it from the reporters who have been talking to law enforcement from Fox, none of the bombs in these packages were able to be detonated. Again, that doesn't lessen the severity of the matter, but it's just an interesting point in terms of helping law enforcement zero in on, on the person or the parties responsible.
Yeah, but I just want to know, when do you think this is going to end?
No.
I mean, how many packages were sent? Is it the same person? Is it a group of people? They're working on all of that to figure out, the who, what, when, where, and hows.
Well, we'll keep you updated as more information becomes available, but we're going to stick to what we know to be true. Again, no conspiracy zone here on Chicago's Morning Answer, so if you want to offer wild speculation, take it somewhere else, frankly. There's so much that we know to be true, and there's so many important things to discuss in this context based on how this is being debated in this country. Don't want to entertain fact-free speculation. That's easy to do. Leave that to CNN. This is also interesting to note, just in terms of the respective coverage and the assignment of blame, because that's what the D.C. press corps is in the business of doing. They're in overdrive right now against Trump. The assignment of blame. Hate acts follow hate speech. Hate acts follow hate speech. It's past time for us to turn down and tune out the rabid rhetoric. That's Mitt Romney. You agree with that? Hate acts follow hate speech. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Because there's something problematic about Mitt Romney's fortune cookie rhetoric. And that is this definition. Hate speech is not speech you hate. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So what exactly is hate speech, soon to be Senator Romney? It's one of those aphorisms that's easy for political hacks to throw out, but has real implications in our discussion. And how this is covered, assignment of blame. So, for example, if President Trump's criticisms of CNN are responsible for CNN receiving a package, then are CNN's criticisms of Trump responsible for the the failed assassination attempts on President Trump, whether in Vegas during the campaign or more recently when a grand jury indicted a Utah man for sending ricin-laced letters to President Trump, Defense Secretary Mattis, Chief of Naval Operations Admiral John Richardson. Well, do you know about that? Did that get covered? Are all the Trump is a Nazi, Trump is Hitler, Trump is destroying this country, Trump has to be stopped, we'll do whatever it takes to stop Trump, all of the rhetoric coming from the left for the last 2 years? Are they responsible for William Clyde Allen III sending ricin-laced letters to the president and military leaders? Did we have that discussion? I can't recall. If we did, I missed it. For more on this topic, as well as the caravan matter, we're pleased to be joined again by writer and editor of thestream.org, author of the book, The Politically Incorrect Guide to Immigration. John Smirak joins us now. John, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Good morning.
Thank you. So, as now we've got two more packages discovered, one addressed to Booker, Senator Cory Booker, one addressed to James Clapper. What's your reaction to the discussion that's being had on cable news networks and within the halls of the D.C. press corps?
I think you're absolutely right that they're looking for a pretext to destroy the president and to silence free speech. These are the same people that took Julie Swetnick's charge that Brett Kavanaugh and Mark Judge were gang rapists, courtesy of Michael Avenatti. I would not be surprised if some sleazy operative like Avenatti were behind this, and that this was a false flag operation. I'm glad that none of these things went off. I think it's rather interesting that none of them even came close to going off, and some of them appear to have been specifically designed to be hoax devices, like Wile E. Coyote on Roadrunner. I think it's likely these are politically inspired hoaxes. If not, then I'm glad that whatever lunatic is behind them is incompetent at making explosive devices.
Well, what do you think about the fighting between CNN and President Trump? They'll say something, and then he tweets back at 3:14 a.m. this morning. Funny how lowly rated CNN and others can criticize me at will, even blaming me for the current spat of bombs and ridiculously comparing this to September 11th.
I think Trump is frustrated at the unbelievable, shameless bias of the press and is venting. And I think, his tweets have been one of the things that made this presidency succeed, because he's been doing an end run around the press. And think of it this way. We're in an age when Twitter will close down your account just because some random person complains to you and the person at Twitter dislikes your politics. They can't shut down Donald Trump because he's the president. They haven't been able to impeach him or annul the election. They can't shut him down, so they have to grit their teeth and put up with free speech. So every time Donald Trump tweets and irritates the media, I see it as a victory for free speech.
I just want to switch gears and get your take on the caravan. You've written the Politically Incorrect Guide to Immigration. I don't know if you have a chapter on caravans making their way up through Central America, but
no, but I do on the topic of fake refugee claims.
Okay.
All right, what's that?
Well, if you're a refugee, it means you're being persecuted by your government, and you're supposed to go to the first safe country that's willing to offer you refuge. These people weren't being persecuted by their government. They marched out in broad daylight carrying the flag of the country that was supposed to be persecuting them. That's not what happened when people fled in Hitler's Germany. When those boats full of Jewish people came to the U.S. and Franklin Roosevelt turned them around tragically, horribly, and they went back to Germany, and many of them were killed. That's refugees. People deciding, you know what? They don't pay enough here. I'm going north. That is not a refugee. That is an economic migrant. And if we allow people to thrust themselves into our country against our will and against our laws, waving their flag and arrogantly demanding that they have the right to come here, well, guess what? There are hundreds of millions more people in Latin America who will come. We will be empowering the human traffickers, the coyotes, the people who, as of now, rape 80% of the girls and young women who enter the United States illegally from Central America. 80% get raped by human traffickers. Right. What do you think the message we send is if we take these people? Come on up. The water is fine. Take whatever risks you have to. Pay the $5,000 to the drug cartels. Put up with whatever they're going to do to you, because once you get to America, everything's going to be great, because guess what? The Democrats have lots of welfare programs, and they need your vote.
Well, and the Democrats, although they won't admit this at this time any more than they'll address whether or not the caravan should be allowed to enter this country 10 days before an election, they have a solution to your trafficking problem. Just open borders and eliminate ICE.
That's right. They do absolutely have that planned. The Democrats have embraced the most radical, extreme position on immigration that it's just unprecedented in American history, stunning compared to what Bill Clinton or Harry Reid or the old Hillary Clinton used to assert. The Democrats have decided that they're unhappy with the people, so they want to dissolve them and elect a new one. And as black people are starting to walk away from the Democratic Party, as Trump is getting the equally positive ratings among Hispanics that George W. Bush got, they're losing their hold on the people who've been living in failed democratic cities all these decades. Yeah. So they're just going to import new people, poorer people from Central American countries, from Mexico, who can easily be molded to live on the Democratic plantation.
So how do you see this ending? I mean, President Trump's going to have a travel ban along the Mexican border. He's sending active military members down there. What do you visualize happening?
Well, I think he can't let them in. I mean, if he has to set the Rio Grande on fire, as the Cuyahoga River once was, this has to be stopped. I mean, there's absolutely no condition under which one of these people can be allowed to come in. We cannot reward this kind of behavior. If he did let them in, every one of them will cost us $50,000 to litigate their fake refugee claims. By the way, most of them, they've all been offered refuge in Mexico, and they've all said no. That right there invalidates their refugee claim. But we shouldn't have to spend $50,000 litigating against a lawyer hired by George Soros for each one of them if they even show up for their hearings. So if Trump lets them in, he will lose the midterm elections and undergo 2 years of impeachment trial. A show trial in the Congress. He will lose the upcoming November 6th national impeachment referendum, which is what I'm calling the midterm elections. If he holds absolutely firm, I think he will be able, right after the midterm, he'll be able to find the money for a wall. I think there will be a surge of support, and he will be able to finally fund the wall and create a permanent structural solution to this. Then he has to reform our ridiculous asylum and refugee laws, which George W. Bush messed up in an attempt to portray himself as a compassionate conservative.
He is John Smirak, writer and editor for thestream.org. The book, The Politically Incorrect Guide to Immigration. John, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I thought I had a sinus headache for a few days, but I had a massive brain aneurysm, hemorrhage of the brain, and a stroke, and I was on my deathbed. I was on a respirator in a coma for 35 days, and 3 months later, I came home in a wheelchair. I had double vision. I had to learn to walk again, to speak again. 1 and 1 is 2, write the alphabet. You know, if I went out and did a little something, I'd come home, I'd be in bed. Now, I'm up by like 5:30 in the morning, and I go to the gym. I do shopping. I cook. I have energy all day. I mean, I feel great. Overall, my whole outlook, just feeling, my mental aspect, everything is better.
For a limited time, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies and have them shipped to you free. Call 800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751, or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Do you want your basement to be dry most of the time? Well, if so, Permaseal is not the company for you. Oh, no. Permaseal hears story after story of homeowners who say their basement only leaks when it rains. Well, you don't want your living room or bedroom getting wet, do you? Then why do you settle with a wet basement? The Permaseal team believes that your basement should be dry no matter how hard it rains. That's right. You can have a permanently dry basement. Just give them a call. I'm going to call them up, too. Let me call them first. 800-421-SEAL. That's 800-421-SEAL. They offer a free estimate, no haggle pricing, and a price assurance guarantee, so you can rest assured that you're getting the best value. Roy Spencer started Permaseal back in 1979, and it is still a local Chicagoland family business doing the right thing and standing behind their work. Your basement is already dry most of the time, but if you want your basement dry all of the time, you know who to call. Permaseal at 800-421-SEAL. That's 800-421-7325 or permaseal.net.
Here's another Turnkey IT happy client.
Hi, this is Joe from Packaging Personified. We're a manufacturer of flexible packaging located in Carroll Stream, Illinois, and also just north of Grand Rapids, Michigan. Packaging Personified manufactures flexible packaging for the food industry and multiple other industries. We happen to be a 24-hour operation running 7 days a week, so we rely on our IT to be 100% solid. We were having a challenging time trying to get our infrastructure to be reliable. This is a problem we've had for some time, and we had gone to other providers and did not have the success we were hoping for. And that's when we found Turnkey IT. We're still in the process of expanding our network to support additional changes that we're making as we grow the business. And with Turnkey IT on our side, we can focus on our business, which is making packaging.
Your business can have great success too, with a full-time IT staff starting at $7.95 a month. From Turnkey IT.
Leave the technical stuff to the pros so you can focus on the important things. Visit turnkey.pro today. Turnkey.pro.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Gina Labus, President and CEO of Mid-States Glass and Metal and a customer of Signature Bank since 2011. As we expanded our business into all aspects of the glass and metal industry, we needed a bank who could grow along with us. That's when we met Mick O'Rourke, co-founder of Signature Bank. Mick and his team took the time to understand the ebbs and flows of our business. They worked with us to find a solution that would support our growth. Mid-States Glass and Metal is proud to work with Signature Bank because they support Chicagoland women-owned businesses like mine.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, so just picking up our discussion of bombs with the 11th and 12th discovered. One addressed to Cory Booker, found at a postal facility in Florida. Intercepted, not found like it was lying around. Intercepted because law enforcement is on the case. And another addressed to former DNI James Clapper, found at a postal.
I know. Sorry. I can't help it. I can't.
Not appropriate.
No, it's got the clapper.
This is serious. Yeah,
Why is it? No, this is. Come on.
Clap on, clap off.
Your boyfriend Mitt Romney. Did you not hear?
Yes.
When he instructed, hate acts follow hate speech. Hate acts follow hate speech. Well, I mean, sometimes. What's hate speech? So is this hate speech, Mitch?
Yeah, it's just some guy, really. It's a guy in Scottsdale, Arizona who made a meme in 2014. It's been around like conservative like web forums, not like young people like 4chan stuff. I'm talking like, you know, people who follow the Drudge Report and Fox News and stuff like that. It's that sort of circle. So that's what you're seeing right now. This is not a meme meant to, you know, ascribe any sort of direct malice. It's not a real great clue, but it does show you what part of the ecosystem he at least drew this one image from.
Part of the ecosystem, the image comes from, the image being this internet meme that was wrapped on the bomb that was sent to CNN with like sort of a parody of an ISIS flag.
Yeah,
and
with
Get Her
women.
Done.
Yeah, 3 women in the ISIS flag title, and then underneath, Get Her Done.
So we've focused now. We've got the suspect pool, Fox News and Drudge Report consumers. Is that hate speech?
Yeah.
Because if you want to offer one of these little fortune cookie statements that politicians love to offer, hate acts follow hate speech. Oh, gosh.
Clearly he's attacking President Trump.
That sounds so reasonable. Gosh, that's so thoughtful. It's so profound. What's hate speech? It's not speech you hate. That's free speech. Is it hate speech when the leadership of the Democrat Party runs around calling Trump Hitler, fascist, when the D.C. press corps rationalizes away confrontations at restaurants, when former Obama administration officials do that, defend the person who accosts Mitch McConnell and his wife at a restaurant in Louisville? I mean, is that hate speech? Or is that a hate act that followed hate speech? It's sort of a chicken and egg argument, isn't it? Perhaps the better way to do it is to separate speech from action, rather than get into the business of thought crimes and connecting dots that don't connect. I'll tell you, we talked to Brett Baer at the top of the 7 o'clock hour about some of this preposterous CNN and MSNBC and D.C. press corps coverage. Mm-hmm. I've never heard Brett Baer more exasperated.
Me neither. He sounded drained. And yeah, he's normally...
Well, I think he sounded indignant. He is disgusted by what his brethren in the press corps are doing. He sees it for exactly what it is. Brett Baer doesn't call things. It's just so stupid, which is what he said about the coverage. John King saying no one is blaming the president on CNN with a chyron right underneath him blaming the president for the bombs that were delivered. Brett Baer, it's just so stupid. That is real frustration, and I think it's perfectly understandable and appropriate, frankly, with how the left is overreaching here. So go ahead. Continue to lay blame without claim, and we'll see how that works out. You know, out here in flyover country, we'll see how that's received, because you think we need Trump's instruction to see you for who you are on CNN, on MSNBC, in the New York Times, in the Amazon Post. We don't.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer,
we'll switch gears and talk about a class on life knowledge offered at one New York City charter school with Ian Rowe at 8:38.
And later, a state that will pay off your student loans if you move there. But first, into the newsroom we go. Here's Mike Scott.
Clouds and 48 degrees. Police and the FBI investigating the discovery of more suspicious packages, possibly containing explosive devices. NBC's Pete Williams.
We believe now this is the 12th device. What we're told is this is a package that looks like all the others. The other 11 now, so we could make it 12. This one is addressed to James Clapper, the former director of national intelligence.
Suspicious packages containing what appear to be pipe bombs have been addressed to some prominent Democrats. Investigators say the manhunt is focusing on South Florida. Google says it has fired 48 people without pay for sexual harassment over the past 2 years. Company made the announcement today in an email to employees after the New York Times reported a former Google executive received a $90 million golden parachute when he was fired for sexual misconduct in 2014. Authorities are searching for a Matson man wanted for murdering a popular Chicago area barber. Police have put out an arrest warrant for Perry Gosa, who's accused of shooting Mike Carney Sunday at a gas station in Harvey. 2 mass shootings this week in Chicago could be related, Police are tying together a shooting that wounded 5 men outside of a home in the 6200 block of South King Drive, with those being shot Monday outside of a funeral for a local rap artist on the south side. A Chicago man accused of threatening to kill U.S. Senator Jeff Flake because he was tired of the Republican interrupting President Donald Trump, will face federal charges in Arizona. A grand jury indicted James Blevins, and that case will stay in Arizona. And Chicago's public league basketball community mourning the death of one of its veteran performers, Lewis Thorpe. The longtime high school coach died Wednesday at the age of 56. Thorpe had an impressive high school resume, including coaching North Lawndale to a state title in 2008. Blackhawks over the Rangers 4-1. Bulls take on Charlotte tonight without Bobby Portis, who may be gone for 4 weeks with a sprained MCL. The news service of Unbound.org. Right now there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at Unbound.org. 8:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager sees the media focused on the wrong story. Again.
I actually turned the news off this morning in my hotel room. It is, of course, about various non-functioning bombs that were found. I don't think it's worthy of round-the-hour coverage. In terms of news, it's largely a waste of time if there's nothing important to be learned.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Rich, poor, Republican, Democrat, we're all the same when it comes to property taxes.
We're not going to be living in Illinois anymore, and it's due to the property taxes.
Go to SaveYourHomeNow.org. You stay. The politicians go. Liberty Principles paid for this ad and is solely responsible for its content.
Famous Winston Churchill quotes, presented by Automated Systems.
In reference to the Nazis, Winston Churchill stated, "An appeaser is one who feeds a crocodile hoping it will eat him last." That wisdom certainly proved true.
It's important we support companies that share our conservative values. If you are a manufacturer, I encourage you to call my friend Laz Kulchar from Automated Systems. As a software and systems integration company, Automated Systems creates custom solutions to make your production lines, facilities, and plants run more efficiently. Imagine less downtime, more speed, and fewer rejects. It doesn't matter if you're a Fortune 500 or a startup, Automated Systems delivers solutions for your toughest automation challenges. For information, I encourage you, man, to talk to Laz at Automated Systems. Call 844-HIRE-ASI or visit automatedsys.com. That's 844-HIRE-ASI.
Songs have been written about it. Wars have been fought over it. And just holding it in the palm of your hands is magnificent. Silver and gold have been bartered, bought, and sold for centuries. And now is the time for you to invest in one of the most recognized financial assets and ensure your portfolio is guarded against inflation and a declining dollar. For such an exclusive opportunity and investment, put your trust in Kedzie Coins. Kedzie Coins is an accredited precious metals dealer member with family roots in the heart of Chicago. And as members of the Professional Numismatics Guild, they are committed to the strictest standards of excellence and ethics. With one of the largest selections of gold and silver bullion minted in the U.S., Kedzie Coins is your destination to buy American. Visit one of their 3 locations, Kedzie Coins and Jewelry on 59th and Kedzie in Chicago, What a Gem Jewelry and Coins in Berwyn, or the flagship store, Broadway Jewelry and Rare Coins in Bradley, just north of Kankakee. For questions or to set up an appointment, call 773-436-0777.
Check out the newest podcast from the Associated Press, Ground Game, hosted by AP's Megyn Kelly, a weekly conversation about top political issues ahead of the upcoming midterm elections. Available on Apple Podcasts.
8:38, and a check on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
On the inbound Kennedy Expressway, delays are from Pulaski to the Burn Circle. It's 44 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 34 from Montrose, 26 in the Express. Outbound 38 minutes to O'Hare. About Edens, 19 minutes, Lake Cook to Junction. Outbound 24. About Eisenhower, traffic hits the brakes North Avenue to the Tri-State and Posner to the Circle. 48 minutes, 390 to downtown. 33 from Manheim. Outbound 36 minutes to 390. Stevenson, 53 minutes, 355 to the drive. Outbound 37. Lyon, 35 minutes, 95 to downtown. Express lanes jammed for Pershing. I-57, 23 minutes, side east of the merge, Bishop 426. Delays in the northbound Tri-State 75th to Hinsdale Oasis. Reagan Tollway most of the way to Balmoral. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center, we'll stay cloudy through the day. Showers in spots, high 54. Clouds and rain overnight, low 43. Currently 48. Next news at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continue next on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio. Online at iHeartRadio.com.
Don't miss David Clark and James O'Keefe at Freedom Summit 2018. Get your tickets today at freedomsummitchicago.com.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. So, Amy, yesterday I was at this Aces Up charity poker tournament for Urban Prep.
Oh, yeah.
Urban Prep schools that Tim King runs here in the city. Mm-hmm. And some of the toughest neighborhoods.
How'd you do?
All male high school.
Oh, yeah.
100% African-American men. 100% graduation rate, what is it now, 16 years running?
Mm-hmm. And everyone that graduates, it goes to college.
Right. They've cracked the code there. And he, in his remarks before we started playing Hold'em, made the point, which I knew, but a lot of people in the room didn't. And just when we were talking during break, I mean, even though you know it, it's just staggering to hear it from Tim King. And you see all these kids that are either going to the school or graduates of the school that came back to volunteer because Urban Prep was so important to their lives. And it's really inspirational stuff. It's I mean, truly the Lord's work, what Tim King and his folks are doing. So they've averaged one student murdered every year they've been in existence.
Oh.
2 shot, essentially, every year. I think this summer it was like 1 a month. So you're talking about, these kids, they're all getting put on, they're either on because of their family or they're being put on the straight and narrow, and it's taking, and then they're going to U of I or wherever, and then they come back to the tough neighborhoods in which they live, and they take a bullet. I mean, it just couldn't be more exasperating. And so it speaks to sort of the toughest reform to discuss, much less address, in K through 12 education, which is what? Family.
Right.
Family.
Solid families.
Mom and dad and parental engagement in juniors' education, which is why I was so interested in this piece in the Wall Street Journal a little while back about a charter school, a network of charter schools in New York, public preparatory network of 3 single-sex schools, launched by a gentleman named Ian Rowe. And one of the things that he provides, or is provided, is a life knowledge course for 8th graders to help them envision futures where they won't have babies before they can support them. Trying to address the most difficult aspect of changing the future for people in urban centers, which is the family structure. So let's get a little bit better sense of what that exactly entails and how it's working. Maybe there's something here that could be scaled. Ian Rowe joins us now. Ian, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Good morning, Amy and Dan. How are you? Thank you for having me on.
Our pleasure. So this life knowledge course, give me the genesis of it and how it is playing out in practice.
Sure, absolutely. Well, again, thanks for having me on. Yeah, so I run Public Prep, which is a network, as you said, of single-sex public charter schools pre-K through 8th grade. And we're really proud of the fact that 90% of our 8th graders are, who started with us many years ago, are now in their freshman and sophomore years in college and doing really great. And just encountering a whole set of issues to maintain that success. And one of the things that we recognize is that for a lot of our kids, they're not necessarily seeing examples of the sort of rite of passage into adulthood that has normally been the way to success. And there's some great data that came out years ago. It's usually called the success sequence, which is a series of life decisions that, when done 98% of the time, the kids that follow it land in the middle class or above. Mm-hmm. And that series of decisions is to finish your education, even just a high school degree, but finish your education, get a full-time job of any kind, just so you learn the dignity and discipline of work. Then if you choose to, get married, then have children, in that order. And when you do that, the odds of success or entry into the middle class are overwhelmingly in your favor. And so that's a set of information that we think it's critical for our kids to have beginning in 8th grade.
You, this piece in the journal that I referenced to says when you moved your charter school headquarters to the South Bronx a little bit more than a year ago last spring, you were dismayed to see a bright blue truck driving by emblazoned with the slogan, "Who's your daddy?" It was a mobile laboratory selling paternity tests through neighborhoods. And just so how did that sort of inform your understanding of the challenge before you in educating children?
Yeah, there are moments in life when you confront an event or have an experience that once having experienced it, you can't go back. And that occurred when we were doing our walking tour of our staff. We'd moved from headquarters in Manhattan to the heart of the South Bronx on 148th Street and 3rd Avenue. And just doing a walking tour, we saw this 27-foot baby blue Winnebago truck with all these people around it. And it had the letters in graffiti writing, "Who's your daddy?" to discover that this was a paternity test, which helped, primarily poor people paying $350 to $500 to answer questions such as, "Is she my sister? Are you my father?" And this is a thriving business. A second truck has now been added. It's made trips throughout New York City, Washington. I think it's actually been in Chicago. There was a VH1 reality series focused on this truck. And so for us, it just suggested again that for our kids who are 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, they haven't yet had the chance to make the big decisions in their life that will give them a sense of personal agency. So when I saw that truck, I said, we have to play a different role. It hasn't always been the case that schools had to be the place that taught something like the success sequence, but the institutions through which kids normally learn these things, whether it be in their own family where they had role models, or in their own neighborhoods where they saw lots of more stable families, or in popular media, or their religious institutions, all of those institutions themselves are then frayed. So there's a greater onus of responsibility on schools because we're the last remaining institution that have kids, at least 10 months a year, and we have in my view, the profound responsibility to ensure that our kids at least know that this is a pathway to success.
Now, what kind of feedback have you gotten from parents and the students?
Well, this is not something that schools have taken on, and it can be somewhat controversial. I mean, in general, our parents want us to be the adult in the room because in some cases they made different choices. They didn't necessarily choose the success sequence in their own lives, but they don't necessarily want that for their kids. And they want us to be the ones that don't cower to fear and say that this is what we really believe is in the best interest of your child. And so, it is very important to engage parents to explain, why we think this is so important. So we're not blaming the victim, we're not moralizing, but we're saying that there are real rewards or consequences to different decisions that your child will make. And it's really important that they know what those are. So we have to be brave and frankly have sort of courageous leadership to say these things to our kids and our families.
Your background is interesting, MBA from Harvard, and you were an executive at MTV where you I guess, were at least in part responsible for, the Rock the Vote and other campaigns that MTV did that focused on young people participation, making healthy decisions. So 2 questions. One, can you get Amy an autographed picture of Kurt Loder? And whatever happened to that guy?
I don't know.
And
Kurt's
two,
amazing.
Actually, I did love him. And 2, so how did your experience at MTV inform what you're doing now as a charter school operator?
Right. Well, I'll work on the Kurt front. He is
All right,
amazing.
Thank you.
Second, well, I've had the privilege of working for a number of large institutions that affect the lives of kids. So, I was at the White House post 9/11. I was at the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and at MTV, and now, running a network of public charter schools for the last 8 years. And throughout those, I have had insight into what are the factors that really drive long-term success for kids. And there are a lot of short-term interventions, but it is irrefutable the role that family structure, the timing of family formation, along now with this other data about finishing your education first, full-time work, essentially being ready, emotionally, financially. That's just real data that needs to be integrated into the curriculum for kids. Frankly, from an MTV perspective, if there were more messages in popular media around this rite of passage into adulthood, because schools can't bear this burden alone. So, if this same message were integrated into popular media, in religious institutions, just popular culture, and so kids were hearing this over and over again, it might actually give them the anchor and the backbone to withstand the very immediate pressures that they may have, that they're getting messages exactly the opposite of the types of decisions that they should be making. So, our hope is that, what we're doing in our school hopefully will get replicated elsewhere and not only within schools.
He is Ian Rowe. He's the CEO of Public Prep in New York. Good write-up in the Wall Street Journal from the spring, a class on life knowledge offered at New York City Charter School. Ian Rowe, thanks so much for joining us. Continued success with your charter schools.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
You too. Take care.
Thank you. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
If you're talking about it, Dan and Amy are talking about it. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Attention maintenance coordinators. Fans are a vital part of your business's building or factory. You've got to keep the air moving. But when they break down or need service, who can you call? Vans Industrial repair all types of fans, from small wall fans to large air movers.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, president of Vans Industrial. Fan repair is one of many services that Vans offers. If you have a fan with a damaged shaft, bearing, impeller, or housing, we can help. And if you need a new fan, we handle all major brands and can provide engineering assistance to properly size your new fan. Our crews can respond to your emergencies or routine maintenance and will have your fan back up and running fast. And when we're done repairing your fan, we can also dynamically balance it so it runs smooth for years to come.
Vans uses only the best and safest union-trained mechanics, insured at the highest level, to perform the job right. Call 833-VANS-IND to get your fan repaired today. That's 833-VANS-IND, or on the web at vansindustrial.com. On AM 560 The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Opportunity Project, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
This is Michael Medved. I'm here with Mike Stahl from Health Markets, helping folks find the right Medicare coverage. The news reports say that the rates might be going down.
The government projects the cost of Medicare plans will decrease this year. So you have to ask yourself, are you getting the best rate? Health Markets offers a free service with access to thousands of Medicare plans nationwide to help folks maximize their benefits and save money.
What is it people need to keep in mind?
Enrollment in the right plan is not automatic. With so many Medicare options, it can be confusing. My advice, don't go it alone. Get unbiased help to find a plan that may cost less and cover more with lower co-payments, more choices like dental and vision, and the freedom to choose your doctors. With the enrollment deadline only weeks away, it's important to act now. Our Health Markets Medicare assistance is free.
Thanks, Mike. This is Michael Medved for Health Markets.
For your free Medicare assistance, call 800-741-5592. That's 800-741-5592. 800-741-5592.
Gear up for hunting season at Shrink Smoke and Gun. All in-stock rifles and shotguns are 10% off during the month of October. If a pistol is what you're looking for, take 15% off all used 380 and 45 ACP pistols. It's also time for Glocktober deals. Stop in for the lowest prices allowed for all Glock firearms. And with the largest selection of new, used, and consignment firearms in Lake County, you'll avoid the Cook County firearm and ammo tax with just a short drive north. For gunsmithing, you know you can count on family-owned Shrinks for over half a century. Cigar lovers, be sure to stock up from Shrink's Humidors. And don't miss Shrink's special Glocktober sale. Visit smoketheletterN.gun.org or call 847-662-4034. That's 847-662-4034 or online at smoketheletterN.gun.org. Shrink Smoking Gun in Waukegan, your family-owned gun store since 1964.
The following is a paid political announcement.
So, we keep learning more about Joe Donnelly's outsourcing family business and about Donnelly's attempts to deceive us. We already knew Donnelly's family business outsourced jobs to Mexico. Mexican workers were paid just $3 an hour, while Donnelly pocketed tens of thousands. Then Donnelly claimed,
I haven't worked there in over 20 years.
But Donnelly's own financial disclosures reveal he profited from the business just 2 years ago. Now, newspapers report Donnelly's family business didn't only outsource jobs to Mexico, it also imported products from China. 120,000 pounds of Chinese shipments. Outsourcing to Mexico, importing from China. And Donnelly trying to deceive Hoosiers. Joe Donnelly, hypocritical, dishonest politician. It's time to fire dishonest Donnelly. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Did you know that studies have shown that we need over 10 servings of fruits and veggies every single day? If you're like me, it's hard to find the time and money to prepare and eat all of those fruits and vegetables. Who can do that? Yet we know that proper nutrition can prevent health problems, give us energy, and help us heal faster. Balance of Nature has spent over 20 years researching and delivering solutions to this problem. We can ensure that you consume over 30 different fruits and veggies every single day. Our capsules are filled with 100% real whole foods. There isn't a single thing added to Balance of Nature products. They're pure. We spent an incredible amount of time on the quality of our products. We do this for you. We do it for our own families. Give yourself a break and give your body what it needs. Call now to receive 35% off your first Balance of Nature order. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
AM 560, The Answer.
Hey, we're honored to have Mike Gallagher in our confines today.
Do you want me to get him? Is he outside in the hall?
Roaming
It's
the
a very
halls.
busy place because we have Freedom Summit tomorrow.
I'll tell you what you should do. I mean,
What?
Mike Gallagher is your better and my better. You go get him a cup of coffee or whatever Mr. Gallagher wants.
Wait, here, look, seriously, what I do for this show.
All right.
How are you?
All right, Mike.
I wouldn't want you guys. I mean, I always have you on because all morning I'm bragging about Dan and Amy, and the reason I'm in Chicagoland is for the big Freedom Summit.
Yeah.
And I'm here in the studios the hallowed, vaunted studios of Dan and Amy.
That's where it all happens.
And Amy, of course, letting me in the back door this morning because I couldn't get in. So what would I do without Amy? What would I have done without you?
I saw you pounding on the glass. Like, I think I know that guy. It's Mike Gallagher.
So Amy wanted me to come in, and Dan didn't. So
I did. I mean, I was a little put off by the mom jeans. I won't lie, but no. I mean,
Listen, we all can't be looking like we stepped off the pages of GQ.
Well, I mean, I don't want to brag. That's why you're here.
He has a stylist. Honestly, he has a stylist that shops for him at Nordstrom's and presents outfits for him.
You're seeing me right. This is a hologram that's photoshopped.
I like that look, though. You got the layered look. You got the sweater. You got the sport coat on.
I'm a sophisticate.
And you got the scruff. He's got the scruff going, Amy.
So have you got the rundown for tomorrow's Freedom Summit? What time are you?
What are you going to say tomorrow?
I'm going to say it. I'm going to be on at 2:00. We're going to have a little bit of a rumble.
All right.
Noah Rothman, I think Kurt Schlichter is going to be on the panel, and he is one of my favorites.
That's a lot of octane on stage.
A lot of octane. So I'm just going to sit back and take it all in and have some fun. You guys are on what time? What time do you do your thing?
I don't think we're scheduled. I don't think we're allowed to participate.
Get up early for your freedom.
We're just there to
I'm there to see people, and then Dan's going to be parking cars. Oh, he's the fluffer.
I'm the fluffer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Please don't fluff me. I don't need that. I got enough problems in my life.
Mike Gallagher tomorrow, 2:00 at Freedom Summit, Weston and Itasca, and obviously his show is up in about 20 seconds plus the news.
Yep. All right, thanks so much. Thanks for making us part of your work week. We're back here tomorrow, or not tomorrow, on Monday morning at 5 a.m. Now here is Mike Scott.
Lake in the Hills restaurant owner shot and killed in Chicago. Cloudy day ahead in your forecast. WIND Chicago News Time is 9 o'clock.
This is a Fox News alert. It's up to